We are live. Let me get everybody unmuted here. Hello, 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 hello.
That's where the trouble begins.
Here is where the trouble begins. We've got a lively chat here already tonight. We've got Captain Halloween. We've got, hold on one second here. Let me adjust something.
Oh, not on camera. Not on camera.
That's why I'm doing this. Hold on one second. Let me pop out this so I can take care of that. All right, now we're good. All right. All right, there we are. Let's see who's with us tonight so far. Jess Graham, Robert Long, Manny Gatillo, Joe Bob Tarhill, Al Suspiria, Silver Shamrock 83, The Daily Ghost, Gypsy Warrior, Kevin, Josh O'Brien. Got a nice little turnout here. DJ, what's up? Steak Sauce, The White Trash Jedi, Devin Dungan. So we've got a good little turnout here tonight. Welcome to episode 0 of what will soon become a whole new beginning for the Sausage Factory. The Sausage Factory officially dies tonight. And a new beginning.
Rest in peace.
A new beginning, a new day dawns on the grave of the Sausage Factory.
A new beginning.
Yes, indeed. Very much, a very much. Hold on, something is bothering me, and I've got to take care of this real quick. Something just doesn't feel right. Hold on, just 1 minute. Let me fix this. Okay, hold on. Something doesn't feel right.
That's not the only red cap he owns.
That feels better.
His generation?
That feels better. Yes. Now I feel whole. Now I feel complete. All right. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and let the cat out of the bag here. The Sausage Factory, we are rebranding. Our new name is REGIONFREE. Altogether, one word, region free. There you go. There you go. Helping me
end of the show. Bye.
The end. And helping me ring in region free, I've got with me Stone Gassman. Stone, what's up?
What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen, tonight? Yeah, up in New York, just finished my 40-hour work week. About to enjoy the weekend.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also with me is Lorne, who is still alive somehow. Lorne, how are you?
Alive in the super unknown. I'm well. How have you been, Piz?
Quite well. Quite well.
So are we also rebranding the audience? Should they have a spiffy new name?
They are...
the bootleggers. Piz, the region of doom.
No, they're not dooming anything.
I love a good pun as much as the next guy, but
we'll have to think about that one. We'll have to think about that one.
If you have suggestions, throw them out in the chat. We'll ignore you.
There you go. There you go.
The bootleggers sound good.
Also with me tonight, making her debut, Jamie. How are you, Jamie?
Good. How are you, Piz?
Doing very, very well. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I thank you for having me. I'm super excited tonight to be here.
Cool. Very, very cool. Very cool.
There was just a comment saying that Jamie was the one that finally broke the sausages. So
that was it. We can't. Yeah, that was it. That was it.
It seems I have a habit of doing that.
But it's great to have you here, Jamie.
Thank you.
Yeah, right on. Also with me tonight's Cameron. What's up, Cameron? How you doing?
how's it going? Hey, listen, everybody. We got 44 people watching right now and only 14 thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button right now.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeedy do. Also,
I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this. I think this is, I know Lauren will hate me saying this, but this is truly a new beginning. but in the best possible way. And I think that there's only going to be great things happening from now on. So.
You can't use a sentence with the words "a new beginning" and "great things" and it be a cohesive, intelligent sentence.
What are you talking about?
I agree. I agree. It would have to be a new beginning and exquisite, masterful, brilliant, world-altering events are taking place. Christian is with us tonight. Christian, how are you?
Dude, I'm good. What's going on?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How's everything down in Louisiana?
Dude, Louisiana's good. I'm here, so I'm holding down the state. And I mean, just to reiterate, I mean, it's truly a great thing that we've started this new beginning. So, I mean, let's do it.
Right on.
It's only going to get better from here.
Right on. Right on. I've just noticed that Eric's beautiful face is hidden behind the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out of there so we can all see Eric's beautiful face. Eric, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Piz. Keeping it cool down in Texas.
I bet it's heating up down in Texas.
Oh man, been like 100 degrees like every day for 6 days straight.
Jeez.
Is that dry heat, right? Where it's like you just like sopping wet?
Some days. It's been the neighborhood pool is a good place to cool off.
Very cool. Very cool. By the way, Captain Halloween has a great name. The Regionaires.
Nice.
I like that one.
The Regionaires.
That's a good one.
Jay the Stingray's here. What's up, Stingray? Can't hear you, brother.
Oh boy.
Use your outdoor voice.
Unmute that microphone.
Is your mic
Great babe.
muted directly?
Yeah, check the cam mic setting right there. Jay, click
Talk-
on that and see what it's telling
talk
you
to it
your
nicely.
audio is.
Calling Grape Ape.
I think he's unmuted on my end.
Yep.
Nothing yet, Jay.
And I'm unable to unmute Raiho's mic. You might be having some mic. Wait a minute, hold on. Raiho?
There we go.
I had myself muted.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd accidentally muted you.
No.
How you doing, man? How's things up in Canada?
You know, keeping it cool. I was gonna try and do the show on the deck tonight. It's nice and cool out there. I was in a nice hoodie and all cozied up, and Wi-Fi just crapped out on me, so I'm in here now. But we're good. We're good.
Usenet.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'm on that dial-up.
Oh,
The Moose Net.
So yeah, we are. This is officially episode 0 of Region Free. We're kind of going to do tonight what we would do with our sort of mid-season shows on the Sausage Factory. Just kind of catch up with everybody and shoot the bull and talk about what's going on in the world at the moment, and just kind of reconnect because it's been a while. So
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Absolutely. It's definitely been a while. I'm going to go ahead and throw the first big topic out there for discussion because it's really the biggest news that's happened in a while, and that's the Scream Factory Friday the 13th collection Blu-ray set. Has anybody made their pre-order yet? Are you guys on board? Yay,
Damn
nay?
right.
Okay, looks like
As I said, I complained about it, but I still put in my pre-order.
Yeah. I was in before the
You're
site
the
crashed.
worst, Eric. You're the
Yeah, I
worst.
Did you
I know
order?
what's wrong with America? I know.
Yeah.
Did you order directly from Scream Factory, or did you go through somebody else?
I did Scream Factory. I didn't see it on Amazon when it popped up online.
It didn't come
so
up on
that's-
Amazon until later, I think.
Yeah, it came
It's-
up today.
It's on Amazon right now. I think it's a 130 maybe.
139.
Yeah.
139. Okay. You can get it on Turner Classic Movies shop.tmc.com for around that price, and if you sign up for their newsletter, you get 10% off. So that's not a bad deal.
Eric
That's the
wants the
best deal
poster.
ever.
Let's be honest here. Eric wants the
I do want the poster, as a matter of fact. That's right.
There you go.
I thought they looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I really
Gotta put
loved.
something on this wall.
Yeah, it's bear back there. I really like the one of young Jason coming up out of the water and grabbing Alice. I thought that one looked really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the Evolution of Evil lithograph looks really good too, I thought. So
Amazing artwork, dude. So
Yeah.
good.
yeah, beautiful.
I wasn't sure at first because I was going through the extras, going, okay, I could maybe take or leave that. But then when I realized that I could consolidate my shelf and get rid of my Crystal Lake to Manhattan set and get rid of this and that, like, and just kind of have one big box set, I was like, you know, me selling off that other stuff will offset the price and all that. So I'm excited. I just can't wait. I just can't wait till next year. Hopefully we'll finally get an Elm Street box set, a proper Elm Street Blu-ray box set. I know Christian will back me up on that. We really want that.
I want it so bad, man. I mean, I personally think it would break the internet just as well. Maybe not as much as Friday the 13th, but may come close.
If they
Is there only the one set, like the DVD set with the snap?
Yeah.
That's the only set.
But if Scream Factory was able to include Freddy's Nightmares in that set, even if it was DVD only, that would break the internet.
I haven't seen that show, but I heard it's bad.
It's bad.
It doesn't matter if it's bad. People want it. Collectors are
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Yeah, so, you know, it's bad, but in a
It is perfect late night fodder. If it was still syndicated or something, and you were going through the channel, that's when you would watch that.
I agree.
I think like anything, there are better episodes than others.
Like, I actually think the pilot of it, like the first episode, isn't terrible.
I need to see that. I heard that's pretty cool, right? It's like a backstory about Freddy before he got killed.
Directed by Toby Hooper.
Dude, I gotta see that. I've got to see that.
I used to have that one on VHS, actually.
I rented it from my local video store. That's how I saw it. It came in like a 2-box set with a selection of episodes.
We have a super chat here from Dale. Thank you, Dale, for the $5 super chat, sir. Very kind of you. He says, I never bought the last Blu-ray set. I can't wait for the new Friday the 13th Blu-ray set. It looks beautiful. A dream come true. Posters look great. I agree.
Hell yeah, glad you got it, man.
Yeah, well done, Dale. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Very kind of you.
I'm probably the only person here who has not ordered it yet.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
But I will eventually. I think I pretty much decided that, yeah, if they're going to add even more extras than what they have already now, might as well go ahead and do it. Because I never bought the metal Blu-ray set, so I think this will be perfect.
There's a wonderful joke article going around saying people on eBay with the tin box are sending Scream Factory a cease and desist letter because they want their $900. But honestly, this is what I would do, everybody. I would buy 2 sets, all right, and just sit on the one set. In about a year, you can sell that and probably make your money back for both sets. And
I don't know.
Cameron, I think
just
just
sell
the
the
lithograph, dude. I'm gonna sell the lithograph in 6 months, dude. I think that'll damn near pay for half the set. I sold my Halloween one for a sick amount of money. Hundreds.
Look, DVD and Blu-ray collectors, you have to get creative out there to support your consumption, right? So you learn what you can sell to offset this price. So,
well, I saw Scream Factory posted something like that. They've only got a few, 300 to 500 copies left. But you're gonna, you can get it other places.
There's gonna be another print. Yeah. I think I heard 13,000 were like already kind of dedicated, but
yeah, I wouldn't wait too long, or else you'll be in the boat like with the Halloween box set, where if you really want it, you'll have to turn to scalpers, and then you're looking at
shit.
We got someone in the chat right now saying pre-orders for the Scream Factory are going for $250 on eBay right now.
Already, yeah, I know. Yep, already.
Good God.
But guys, everyone just pause for a second. Does anyone think this is like the last time that the Fridays are going to be available? Because that's what everyone's acting like.
No.
There's no way they license these titles and we're not getting individual releases. There's no way these might be the transfers. This might be it. But, I mean, they mastered in 4K, which you only do for one reason, to future-proof it. So UHD discs are probably coming too. And because of the pace of physical media, it's going to be sooner rather than later. I was gifted a pre-order, apparently. I still don't know from where, so I will be receiving it. And a part of me is excited about it, but I think the price tag's high for what it is. I just do.
So Lauren, 20 years ago, I remember talking with somebody who ran Suncoast Video at the mall, and they would say, you could buy it cheaper on Amazon, but when you got it in your hand, you're just going to pay that extra price because you want it now. And that's what it is. The 4Ks might be coming a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever. But people want that sit, damn it. They look at that box set, they see that sturdy cardboard, they see those posters, they see those individual black cases, and they're excited.
Cool. Yeah. If you're excited, go for it, guys. I'm not saying that. I just wanted to give my opinion that I think the price tag is high for what it is, especially because these movies are all movies we all have already owned.
In other words, whoever pre-ordered that for Lorne, cancel it and send it to Jamie instead.
That's fine.
I was gonna say, I need to start taking that. Somebody will pre-order it for me.
If someone out there, I don't think it came from our chat, but if someone did, by all means, do exactly what Piz just said. I mean that.
Aww.
Now the Halloween.
I own the movies. I'm good.
Why are you winking, Lorne? Why are you winking?
I'm not winking. I barely blink.
You were winking so fast it was like your eyes were wide open. I mean, it's uncanny.
The Halloween box set was $120, right? And this is what, like 5 more discs than that. So I can see. And honestly, if the rumors are true, and there's going to be like, some really cool documentary included on the set that you don't already own, that'll be really awesome.
I actually thought the price was right where the price point was right where I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be right in that 160 area, 150, 160 area. I thought it was right where I thought it would be. So, but yeah, now they did say I did see somebody had posted where they took a screenshot of somebody had asked Scream Factory on social media if they're going to do individual releases, and they said no, they're not going to do individual releases.
And what used car salesman says, yeah, this car's had a lot of problems.
I'm just saying, that's what they said. That's what they said.
I figured they would do what they did with Halloween and make that companion, like the friendly edition, the two cases, and just combine them. Which I'm gonna buy that too. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm gonna say this, whatever it is. I'm gonna buy all of them. So I can't wait till they put that out, Piz. And then watch, they'll put the rated version of Jason Goes to Hell on that one, and I'll complain. But at least I'll have the 2K version, right? That's what I'm most excited for, by the way. I'm pumped for a pretty damn good version of Jason Goes to Hell on rated.
Well, they dropped the producer's cut of Halloween 6 as an individual release, but with no extras. So if you wanted the extras, you had to get the box.
And it did not come in. It did not come in the smaller Halloween set. Cameron didn't come in that one either. So,
yeah, somebody in the chat asked if anybody knew if they were going to release the smaller version of the Friday set like they did with the.
That's what I think they're going to do.
That's called the deluxe edition. I assume that there's going to be another edition, right?
I think the smaller set will just be 1 through 4. That'll be it.
Yeah, the 4K ones.
Yeah.
Or steel books, Cameron, because they do those 4K steel books.
Oh, absolutely. The pumpkin head one. Yeah.
I think they could make a smaller box and put 2 movies to a case and release
Except
it that
for the
way.
first, yeah.
Yeah.
The first will be on its own disc, and the rest will be shared.
Yeah.
Piz, here's what I'm thinking: 2-disc steel box collector's edition, Friday the 13th Part 5: A New Beginning. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds good.
Poster, special Debbie Sue Voorhees poster.
Oh my god.
Damn enchiladas edition.
A demon poster, maybe a picture of enchiladas. I think that's what we need in the market.
But why are they doing? I mean, I understand, right? It's like it's the first one, but it is surprising that the first movie is getting 2 discs dedicated to it. Just because most people, I know the first one is the first one, but a lot of people don't even get excited until Jason comes into the the series. So,
but if you look at the sales of the titles over time. The first film is it's like 5 times around the track to the next competing title. There's no question it is the biggest seller of any of them.
Yeah. But why 2 discs? I mean, why not
is it the rated and unrated editions?
Yeah.
I think that might be
Could be a Paramount thing, huh?
It's like a logistical thing.
But they have that on the regular Blu-ray now, don't they? just
No.
with everything.
I thought it was just the one version on the Blu-ray.
Who would ever watch the rated version again? My God, I mean,
Me? No, I'm just kidding. No, I wouldn't. Honestly, like, I'm not complaining. I'm happy with what they did. Of course, it was like, oh, when a 4K Jason takes Manhattan. I don't need that, of course. But honestly, I really do wish, I really wish Jason Lives would have got 4K, because I think visually it's a beautiful, beautiful entry. So it is what it is. What is it? 1080 full? Is it full 1080p Part 6 or what?
Don't know. They haven't said anything about the actual transfers.
2K,
It should be at least that.
The previous set was 1080p, right?
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah,
it should be
Somebody
that.
said something like they were 720p or something.
Well,
Forgot to
Lawrence
say
There's two that are 720.
Right. That was. I thought Lawrence said it was what, part 7 and 8, or which
7 and 8
ones?
were upscaled 720s,
Yeah.
Okay.
and it's looking kind of like something similar here, but we'll find out. The only thing we do know is that the Jason Goes to Hell unrated edition does all the additional unrated footage is standard definition that's been upconverted, is not native HD. So if you remember the My Bloody Valentine release, whereas the quality of the insert shots was vastly different than the rest of the movie, expect that. Just don't listen. Again, I'm going to sound like the bad guy consistently here. I just want people to be like really aware of what they're buying,
But Scream Factory did go back and they changed the My Bloody Valentine to a better release, right? I mean,
But they didn't. But they didn't with this.
No, not with this. But with My Bloody Valentine, they upscaled.
Certainly, it's going to look better than that old My Bloody Valentine, though,
But
right?
they're
the
saying-
DVD looks better than that footage to begin with. The
They're
uncut
saying
DVD.
HD inserts of the unrated stuff, because the Jason Goes to Hell's getting a 2K restoration, both the theatrical and the unrated, but the unrated will have HD inserts of the cut footage.
A lot of people don't realize that footage is not finished at the point where it goes to be rated. There's still work to be done to finish the image. So this footage was never finalized back in the day. It was cut before the work was done. So they don't have a workable source to bring it up to the standard of the rest of the film without spending massively, which they can do. The technology exists, but they're not realistically going to get the money back out of Jason Takes Manhattan, out of Jason Goes to Hell to justify it.
I want them to do with Jason Goes to Hell what the Halloween box set did for Halloween 6. Let's make Jason Goes to Hell the centerpiece of this box set.
Yes.
Let's roll out a ton of extras. Let's get that, the 2K restoration. Let's make Jason Goes to Hell the centerpiece of this box.
You know what?
If Adam Marcus would offer an apology, maybe I'd buy it. But I don't.
Wow.
Think,
Oh.
I don't think that's
Apology.
Shots
No.
fired.
The best one, Eric.
Yeah.
Hey,
The best
Laura,
one.
Laura and I were talking over the summer, and we both said if they announced a Tom Matthews, Amy Steele, Creighton Duke Friday the 13th sequel, it would be amazing.
Talk to that Visanti guy. He's the one to do it, man.
Yeah.
Stephen Williams isn't doing it now. I mean, that's reality.
Jake Kent says, I gave in, thanks Sausage Factory. Just ordered it on Scream Factory. LOL, damn it.
Hell yeah.
But we are no longer the Sausage Factory, Jay. We are region free.
Are you going to change the YouTube channel?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything will be changed.
So don't freak out, ladies and gentlemen, if you are now subscribed to Region Free on YouTube.
All the social media, the Facebook, the Twitter will all be changed over to region free shortly after the show.
Region free just means you don't need a VPN to reach us.
Exactly.
Where's the Stingray, Piz? Is he in the back?
He's in the green room.
Where did
actually.
Stingray go?
Let's reel him in, man.
Okay, there he is.
waiting
Stingray.
There
Ask
he
him to
is.
sing a song.
What's up, Stingray?
Hey,
Hey, there he is.
off to a great start.
Yeah.
Well,
Can we get
Stingray,
some freestyle?
From me?
you go for it. Yeah.
No. Biz is the one that looks like Fred Durst. I think he should take it.
We were talking about the Friday the 13th box set, man. Have you pre-ordered it yet?
Nah, man.
Are
I'm probably not going to.
Oh, why not?
Because I don't want to spend that kind of money on something I own like 6 times already.
Okay, here's what you do. Go to shop.tcm.com. It's like $120. Sign up for the newsletter. You get 10% off. There you go.
Start
And
selling
then
off
just
your old copies.
unsubscribe from the first newsletter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sell off all my old copies just so I can buy the new box. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm sure the old 10 set is still going for a pretty penny online from collectors. It's not going for $400 and $500 anymore, but you could probably still get the price of what you could spend on the new one out of it for sure.
But
Is it gonna be in
only,
stores?
only if they... No, they're not going to be copies to be in stores. I don't think, right?
I thought somebody said they were going to be in Best Buys.
They might be. I mean,
Like
the
one or
Halloween,
two a store.
the
What
Halloween
about
set was.
FYE?
I am shocked.
Let me play devil's advocate here. I think you guys may be disappointed in this thing because, I mean, they're rushing to get it out by the end of the year, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling when Scream Factory does stuff like that. I mean, they've had some flubs in the past.
It's been in the works for a long time though.
Yeah.
Jay, I'll meet you halfway and say I predict at least one replacement disc is going to happen.
So that happened last time, Cameron, right? When it Halloween 4, people were like, didn't people send in their Halloween 4s from the deluxe set?
Yeah,
I
the
remember
sound
big
was off.
fiasco about that.
Oh,
And
yeah,
they never fixed
yeah.
it, actually. I think I still have that one.
But
I never sent in for it.
they are
Me
great
neither.
about those replacement discs. I was shocked because after Night of the Creeps and other things that they've released, I thought for sure we were going to get some sort of Jason figure or something with this set, but no.
The only thing I really want is the Jason Goes to Hell stuff. That's really all I care about.
Well, hang in there. You may get something individual down the road. Who knows? Who knows, man?
Might be
I don't
soon.
think they'd release that one individually, though. Like, I think you'd get releases of, like, maybe the first 4. I mean, hell, maybe you could get, like, a Part 6 single release. Even Part 7, maybe, because that one's pretty well beloved. But I just don't see them doing a single release for Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
I don't see the numbers behind that.
Just rock the DVD, Jay. It really ain't that much better. Just rock that DVD till the day you die, dog. That's all you need. I got the laser disc, too.
I
I
mean,
got the laser disc.
at this point, I'm pretty much Friday'd out, man. I mean, we've talked this stuff to death.
I did reach out to Dead Pit now that they're back, and I said, hey, I know you guys recorded a commentary that Paramount rejected for Part 5. Why don't you try and you talk to Felsher about getting it on that disc?
Jay's doing the do like me.
No coffee
Yeah,
tonight,
always.
Stingray?
Mountain Dew, 0.
Yeah, man. Not right now.
What are you drinking there, Raiho?
This is not a political
Spicy.
thing. It's called Orange American Bastard. But it's really good.
hell?
I don't know where they
I'm
came up with
triggered.
the name. I thought it was really strange.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I was watching TV with Jeremy this was a couple weeks ago, and I was just kind of channel surfing, and I stopped to kind of give my thumb a rest. I stopped on some news channel, and somebody yelled out, "That orange bastard!" So Jeremy started going, "Orange bastard, orange bastard, orange bastard, ha ha, ha, orange bastard." So if you say Trump to him, he goes, "Ha ha, orange bastard, orange bastard." So, yeah.
That's
Oh, breaking news! Trump is finally wearing a mask. He said he feels like a Lone Ranger.
Jeremy says he's a ninja when he wears his. So ninja. But any closing thoughts on the Friday the 13th box? I know there's more coming out. There's more extras coming out. So there's more in the works.
Reversible art. What's up with 5? Why did they not use the mask with the red eyes or the red light behind it? What happened?
Because that wasn't the original theatrical poster to begin with, and they can't really use the original theatrical poster because it's literally just words against a background
Just-
with a red line.
Red
Yeah,
lines.
I know.
So they went with the next closest thing, which was the print ad material, which was the art
Damn.
that's on the disc.
I really like that VHS art, man.
Well,
I like that. I'm sure the slips will be reversible. I'm sure they'll have something on the other side. There's no
Oh
doubt.
well,
about it.
I'm not that worried. I'm not that upset about it, but
I've always asked, why can't we get some Steve Miner commentaries? That's what we need.
Doesn't want to do them.
He
Doesn't want to do
He
it.
doesn't want to do them. He still doesn't want to do them.
Still
He's
doesn't wanna
weird,
do it.
man. He talked about Lake Placid, no problem. He was really chipper on the special features of Lake Placid.
But that's
He
like
likes
He
that
did an
movie.
H2O commentary.
that's Lake
I guess he
Placid.
likes
Okay.
H2O. You know?
I mean, Lake Placid, Friday the 13th. You know, Lake Placid is Lake Placid. You know what I mean?
Well, Piz, he apparently doesn't like them old Fridays he did, man.
Well, I mean,
It's
maybe
like they don't exist to him.
maybe he just doesn't want. I mean, you know, a lot of our favorite artists don't want to talk about their older work. You know, they want to talk about the new stuff.
God forbid they want to make some money. Jesus.
Wasn't there some rumor that there was some interesting shenanigans happening behind the scenes of those early films that maybe people don't want to talk about?
Perhaps.
Statute of limitations are up, though, right?
Yeah.
Did quite some time.
Jay Kent asks if there's any news on the legal issues. Lauren, I know you posted something to our chat earlier about.
Oh, well, it's not really about the issues. It's just that there's a Louisiana law school that is using the Friday case in the curriculum. Not the appeal, the actual case that's already done. There is no updates, although apparently the decision has been written. It just has not been released because the clerks are still going over precedent, making sure that everything is right. Because this case has a lot of attention on it for what it is. Normally, a case like this would just come out and it would just be a decision for the parties involved. But because this is going to have implications across the industry, I think the court is being extremely careful with the wording of this finding. But you know, all the indications so far have been very clear about what's coming. It's not going to overturn the decision. I would be shocked and elated because that's what I would like to happen, but it's not. I just see no indications of that. Also, when this does come out, it's going to happen either on a Monday morning, first thing, or it's going to happen on a Friday, most likely. But they have to. I mean, they're going to have to talk the case. It's not just filing paperwork out into the ether. The media is going to actually pay attention. So,
I saw something about Clive Barker's following suit, and he's trying to go after Hellraiser with the same claims.
Ooh.
Get him, Clive. Get him.
Which wasn't that part of the? That was like part of the response. Was that like if you do this, you're basically opening up all kinds of problems, and it sounds like Clive agrees. Yeah, okay, that sounds like a good idea. Let me do that.
Yeah.
well, I think with Clive, there was two Hellraiser projects in the works, as well as they were relicensing the comic property. So I think it was more a matter of he's looking at this thing having gotten further and further out of his influence, and now there was another onslaught of product coming out. And I don't know how in the know he was, but the timing is very exact to shut down both a film, a television miniseries, well, a limited series, and a comic book line. So,
well, listen, from what I've heard about the Hellraiser reboot or whatever it is, thank God, because he's swooping in like a hero to stop that crap. So,
I agree.
Good for Clive. I'm Team Barker for sure.
I think Barker also just wants to get away from Dimension and the whole Weinstein stink on that series, you know. And I mean, when they when they were at New World, I mean, I know New World doesn't quite exist the way it used to, but I'm sorry, there's a charm to those first two films that you didn't get once Dimension got a hold of it. So.
At all.
Yes, absolutely.
That's true. I do, but I see a lot of people in the chat are saying, "Well, know this and know that with that box set." But Scream Factory has said there's more to come. There's more extras to come. So just keep that in mind. So yeah,
they're gonna have a Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller sit down interview 1-on-1.
That'd be amazing.
I told you that in confidence.
I told you.
It's kind of why it's funny to see, like, when you read the special features for the new set, just like all the other old sets, where you read, like, commentary by Sean S. Cunningham and Victor Miller on the first movie. Like, it's sort of disjointed when you think about, like, well, they're kind of going after each other now.
I was surprised to see how many Adam Green commentaries are on this set. So.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah.
That's exactly who I want to know whose thoughts are on Friday the 13th. Is a guy that had nothing to do with any other movies. May as well get Frankie Muniz on there. I mean, while we're at it, right?
I thought he's the master of modern horror. Or who was that?
That's Eli.
Who was the?
Oh,
That's
God.
Eli.
Eli Roth.
Master.
Eli Roth, man. What are you
The
talking about?
master, right?
Dude, Adam Green can't touch Eli Roth's shoes, man.
No.
Tell him, Piz.
No.
Although,
Listen.
I was a little disappointed at the Friday 13th reboot. It looks like it's more or less right now a repackaged disc, and that's a shame because I was hoping that enough time had gone by that people could kind of come out and start telling some stories about how Marcus Nispel was apparently a right bastard on that set. So
Maybe not. Maybe
Time
not.
to come. Time to come. The next box set.
We get the Shoot the Boot edition.
I saw a lot of people talking about, why don't we have it in uncut part 7? Because that uncut footage is garbage. It's on YouTube. It's horrible quality. It would take. I don't think there's any way in the world you could
They
clean that
found
up.
that on a rotted tape in
There's-
somebody's closet. Like,
Yeah, there's
It
no
was
way.
Buchler's tape.
It was Buchler, yeah.
He copied it over for Hodder to show at conventions. That's
Yeah.
why it exists. But if that footage is ever to be reclaimed in any form, it's either going to be reshot or CGI'd from scratch. It's going to take less money to do that than to restore it.
Yeah, that footage is unsavable.
I thought Peter Brackey had told us a few times, like when he had access to the archives, like he saw all kinds of stuff that's just like it's just there. I mean, is it possible they do have that footage in a more usable form, but like just nobody's doing anything with it because they've shoved it in the back closet somewhere?
If it's in a back closet somewhere and it was unfinished film, the fade and I mean, it'd almost be worse than the video footage you have at this point, because this is safety footage from 35, 40 years ago that was never finalized. It's really unworkable.
It's been afflicted with vinegar syndrome.
It probably has.
Well, I mean, whereas now, I mean, if a film was to be edited now, all of that stuff is completely saved and on hard drives, and they can just put out the unrated DVDs or Blu-rays or streaming or whatever like that. Back then, they didn't even think about that stuff, so it just went in the trash.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a little bit out of place, but I couldn't get in. I think that commentary for the first Friday that's on the discs from Cunningham and Miller is from the European DVD release, because they were both involved with that, but they weren't in the same room. They took clips from different interviews and laid them in. I just think it's a recut of that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's they sat down. I don't think that at all.
It's the one that's on the US Blu-ray right now.
No, there's a different one that's on the European.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Warner Brothers commissioned one is never crossed over into the Paramount line.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be cool to have it, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's do some shout-outs here. Roland666, how you doing? Robert Long, hello. Lost Cunningham, hello. Christopher Glavin. Zombie7979 says, Jay the Stingray, say something. What's on your mind right now, Stingray?
Not much, man. Just trying to recover from a busy day yesterday, so I'm kind of wiped out.
Steak Sauce says, Frankie Muniz would be much better received.
You damn right. Malcolm in the Middle talks the final chapter. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. That's like that damn Crystal Lake. Well, no, not Crystal Lake. What was it, Piz? His name was Jason. I get this set, Piz. I'm like, oh my god, it's time to dive in. Who are all these people? I don't know any of these people. You know
what's funny, Christian? I when I talked to Daniel Ferens once about it, I said, "Why are you doing Crystal Lake Memories?" And he says, "Because his name was Jason was shit."
Dude, it was. The only thing I liked was those little, really like low budget, silly haunted house bits with Tom Savini, and like that girl who had to just yell across it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like, and then I'm like, all right, Piz, like just take us back to 2009. You pop in this DVD and you want to hear all about the legend of Friday the 13th, and you hear this guy say, "Jason Goes to Hell." Horrible movie. Like I'm like, what is this documentary? Is this the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior? Like, what is this? They're just smearing every film.
I watched it once and I never watched it again.
I forgot it existed.
Right above my head is one of the most biggest disappointments ever. They told us it was going to be a Terror of the Isles type of documentary, and we got Boogeyman, a 42-minute crap fest compilation thing that I used to make better with 2 VCRs back in the
Hell
day.
of a poster. Hell of a poster, though. That's what
It is. It's a great poster. It's autographed. I love it. But
the one
it's
good,
a terrible film.
The one good thing about that Boogeyman release is that it introduced me to The Ugly. I'd never heard of The Ugly before that.
Ugly's amazing.
And I went and watched I went and bought The Ugly right after that, and I love that movie.
Yeah, it's great.
So that was the one good thing.
That company did a best fight scenes doc in the same style or immediately afterwards, and that's even worse, believe it or not.
Oh God. Fizz, what are you gonna do in a month from now? Scream Factory says new announcements for the Friday the 13th box set. This is gonna sweep the nation, sweep the globe. Included in the special disc. His name was Jason.
No, they're not. They're not going to do that. I think they should add Crystal Lake Memories. I mean, that would be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But forget about his name is Jason.
Man, that is a juggernaut of a documentary.
Forget about that.
His name was Jason. Is that the one that was made by James Rolfe for the cinematic?
No. That was Anchor Bay, which is weird because they don't even own Friday the 13th, so they really couldn't talk behind the scenes. It's like all the stuff they talked about in that documentary was very peripheral. It's like they couldn't talk about the meat and the potatoes of the making of the film, so to speak. They do a little bit. It's a really weird documentary because I was like,
I have to watch it because I have it. I have it on my disc. I just
some of those interviews got ported over to Crystal Lake Memories too, and that was a big disappointment for a lot of people. It's like
It's kind of like when you watch those documentaries or those behind-the-scenes shows, and some of the people they're interviewing are like, the entertainment reporter from Entertainment Weekly or something. It's like, I don't really care what this person has to say about, this subject.
His name really weird. Christian, his name's Jason, or Halloween 25 Years of Terror, which is the worst one.
They're both pretty lousy, but my buddy Dave Vanderhoff says he's in 25 Years of Terror, like for a couple seconds. So I'm actually been wanting to rewatch that to see if I can spy him.
I think 25 Years of Terror is a million times better than His Name is Jason.
They have that one spot with that girl who got. Remember that girl? She won some contest. She also showed her boobies on there, which was nice. But she won an award to be in the next movie. And I didn't see her in Rob Zombie's Halloween, so I wonder. I guess she didn't get that didn't work for that movie.
She was in it, and she got cut
Was she
out.
really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because basically she did it was like a contract, so she did get. She was cast technically, but I think whatever her scene was or wherever she was in the movie, she basically got cut out of it. I don't even think she's in a deleted scene. She's that far cut out of it.
We need to get her. We need to get her on this show, Piz, so we can get the truth. I want to know what Mustafa.
By the way,
I want to know what Mustafa promised her. I want to know what happened. I want to know everything. Book it.
I think he was dead by that point. I don't think he was promising anything.
That might be interesting.
He was there. He was on that documentary.
Piz, there's a rumor going around that that you have something to do with the new set. Is that true?
I have contributed something to the set. I can't say exactly what it is just yet.
I'm excited.
Oh, cool.
So
that's worth the purchase for every viewer of Region Free right now.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
There you go.
Will your name appear in the credit material or anything? Anything like that? Oh, cool. Nice, man.
So yeah, really excited. I didn't know for sure if it was going to happen until the 13th. So yeah, I was pretty excited, pretty happy about it.
Very, very nice.
But yeah, I'll when I can speak more on it, I will.
Can we get some of those Peter Bracke Sausage Factory commentaries cut down to put on the disc as well?
That part 2 commentary would be great to put on.
Yeah, the part where we talk about breakfast cereal for 25 minutes.
Hell yeah!
I dig it.
That was the best part. I like Apple Jacks. Screw that. I like Captain Crunch. Oh my God, jeez. By the way, Jamie, what is your favorite breakfast cereal?
I don't have one because I don't eat breakfast cereal.
Oh, okay. Somebody should have told me this before we invited her to join the show.
We have to check our contracts.
I can't eat that stuff because I have to have gluten-free everything.
I hear you. I hear you.
It's part of my Hashimoto's disease. I'm allergic to gluten, and it makes it act up. And I really don't want to get sick like that ever again.
I think
fight through it, Jamie.
Good
That stuff,
excuse.
breakfast cereal's good. Fight through it.
breakfast cereal is good.
Fight through it.
It was good back in the day before it started making me sick. But, it triggers my problems, and I just am staying away from that and bread and cheese and milk.
It's all right,
I pretty
Jamie.
much eat meat and
They
vegetables.
make gluten-free cereal that exists.
It's
It
probably
tastes really good.
it's probably not good. Yeah.
Go check out a Magic Spoon. They're supposed to have really good stuff, and it's all gluten free.
Yeah.
Well, I'll check into different things. Scott's my husband. He keeps bringing me home different, gluten-free choices of things, and I try it. And sometimes they're good, and sometimes they're not.
As someone who can't have dairy products, it's just annoying when people want you to substitute things for things you can't have.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have a restriction, you probably don't understand, like, just how annoying it is for people always to be like, but you could have soy milk, or you could have almond milk. It's like, yeah I'm just not going to have milk. Thanks.
Yeah, that's how I am about it. All I ever eat is a meat and a vegetable. That's it. That's like from morning till night. That's it. That's all I eat. So.
Bison
You're on
and
a
potato,
keto
and you're
diet.
done.
That's actually, that's actually very healthy. I mean, that sounds very healthy.
I lost. You guys are not going to believe this, but I lost 50 pounds doing that. So.
Oh. Right.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Well
Yeah.
Well,
3 years ago, I was in a bad shape. But I'm good now.
Well, and I see, it looks like you're wearing a Dunder Mifflin shirt, so that makes up for no cereal. That makes up for no cereal.
Dunder Mifflin. I've heard that I resemble Pam.
A little bit.
Yeah, I see it.
Easily.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah, I've heard that from a girl. Millie told me that, Cameron. She says, I know faces, and you look like Pam. So, yeah.
Let's see. Lost Cunningham says, I missed you last night. Pizzelle with Todd Former. It's on the channel now, man. Go check it out. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
That
I
was
watched about
awesome.
an hour of it, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that was
I
a
like
lot of
Todd.
fun.
Yeah.
Todd seems down to earth.
Very, 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 very cool guy.
And he has a bitchin' shed. That is a really nice shed.
That's a killer
That is a
shed.
cool shed.
That's a killer
Todd's a
shed.
pimp, dude. You kidding me?
Stone, I understand you've got a couple of topics you want to discuss tonight, man. Go take it. You've got the floor.
Very good.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I wanted to say real quick that I actually reviewed His Name Was Jason when it came out on DVD for DVD Verdict back in the day. The only thing I remember about that 2-disc set is a promo for Larry Zerner's law firm, where they found Velma from Friday the 13th Part 3, and she basically explained how you can be compensated if you're attacked by Jason. But anyway,
I remember
screw
that. I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in 1987, I was 8 years old. And on NBC, a little show premiered called Unsolved Mysteries. Now, diehard fans like myself will remember that the first few episodes had Perry Mason, Raymond Burr host, but of course, the iconic Robert Stack eventually took over the reins and did the show for, I think, 14 years. I mean, started out on NBC, then it went to a few other channels until ended up on Lifetime. And then he sadly passed away in 2002. We had a revamp briefly in 2009 for, it was either FX or Spike. I forget which one, but it had, it was Spike? Okay. Dennis Farina. Now, I bless Dennis Farina. I really liked him, but that version of the show was, I thought, awful. The new one on Netflix, he was miscast. Yeah, he just didn't seem... I mean, it's really hard to fill Robert Stack's shoes, and that's why I think the new show on Netflix, which just dropped on July 1st, 6 episodes, I think the best thing about it is that there's no narrator. They let the stories speak for themselves. They let the story participants speak for themselves. And I am digging this new version of the show. I love the format. I loved how they extended the stories to an hour to let everything breathe and really go into more in depth into the mysteries. I am a little. I am wondering about how they're going to do updates later on. I mean, like, are they actually going to do updates like before or after another mystery and like cut down the running time? I don't know how they're going to pull that off. Or they might say updates at the website. I don't know yet, but
I kind of think they might do just update episodes. Like if they have
Oh, you think
a couple
so?
of updates, then because they've, from what I've been reading, and I don't want to cut you off, there's already
Oh,
been
no, go ahead.
some updates. Like there's some significant leads from the show already on at least 3 of the cases. So
oh, really?
It's inevitable that something could come down the pipe. And I think they can maybe just do an episode where like it's just, you know, a little recap of what happened in that episode and then an update. And then, you know what I mean? And maybe make it into like another 60-minute episode or 45-minute episode or whatever. But we'll see.
That guy definitely killed his wife, right?
What's that?
The hairdresser? Her
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. He's a morbid guy, and he really
weird.
is an asshole. I can't go so far as to say he killed her, though. I don't know.
Well, he sleeps with her ashes. Like, that's fucking
Well,
weird.
that is weird as hell. That is weird as hell. And the idea is, oh, okay, yeah, did he kill her just to keep him for himself for the rest of his life and say screw the son? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced on
You know,
that.
here's something that I thought was really free. I don't think he killed his wife, but I've had 2 family members both be cremated, and I've seen their ashes. Her bag of ashes. See, either she was very petite, or something has happened to some of those ashes, because there didn't seem to be like a whole lot of ashes there. And I just remember thinking,
it was just skeletal remains.
What are you implying, sir?
I was just kind of thining like,
She was found so much later. There wasn't a lot left.
Yes, I didn't really. That didn't cross my mind. What was crossing my mind was, what's this freak done with the rest of those ashes?
Well, the first thing he said was he was kind of like, you know, I've never opened this before, and I'm thinking,
yeah.
All right.
Oh, he lied.
You know, he
lied
looked like,
right then.
Yeah, he looked like Dr. Loomis when I first saw him. I was like, that's Dr. Loomis. Look at him. Yeah.
I think he did it. I think he did it.
You think he did it?
I think he did it. And the reason why is because he has no reason to treat the son so badly.
Yep.
I mean, that's wrong. That's wrong on so many levels.
Yes.
And the fact that he keeps her in a closet, in a box, didn't take the ashes out, put them in any receptacle, screams guilty to me. It all screamed guilty to me. Every time he came on screen, I just was like, that guy is guilty.
But I know his alibi wasn't airtight, but didn't he have some sort of like it was one of those ones where it was kind of weak, like he couldn't have made the drive.
Yeah,
he
alibi.
did.
Yeah,
from his claim.
He did,
he's no fool. You gotta remember too, Jamie. Yeah, you gotta remember too. All the friends were like, "You guys need to look into the husband."
Yeah,
all the friends.
Yeah,
you know, I think there could be some foul play.
I felt so sorry for the son. Gosh,
that was the worst thing.
Oh,
man.
That angered me. That made me so angry. I was so upset because I can't even imagine why he would treat that kid that way, except for the fact that he's a controlling jerk.
Yeah,
you know,
he wanted all the wife's attention. Clearly, every bit of attention that she paid to the kid, he hated that. He hated the kid, and
oh, that angered me.
If I can't have her, no one can.
Yeah.
Well,
and you can tell that guy had a hard road after that. Like you see the pictures before that. She had him in sports. Like he looked like he was a clean cut kid. He was supposed to be.
He's
good
dead
at
on the inside, right?
And like now you see him on there, and his nose is crooked. You can tell that guy got in some fights. He's got tattoos on him. Like he's had a hard road since then, and it's all because of that moment, right? Like that makes it even sadder. Like he's had a hard life.
I can tell you from experience that that's exactly what happens to family that goes through that. Because my cousins, they were never the same. My family was never the same. I call it the before and after, because my family was one way before my cousin got kidnapped, and then another way after, and then even another way after her body was found.
It's horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There's a book about it, but
there's a book about it?
There is. It's called Right for the Picking, but it's only localized. You know, it went on sale in bookstores around here, but I don't think it got national attention. It was on the current affair once, back in the 80s. But
Oh
that's
God.
I'm
the
gonna have.
family doesn't want to do anything about it, which irritates me.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to get going, guys. But I just want to say, Stone, you brought up Unsolved Mysteries. I just want to say, I remember when it first came out, it wasn't even a weekly series.
Mhm.
It was like a once every 4 months they drop one episode on a Monday night on NBC. But because it was so popular, it turned into the weekly series.
Yes,
But it
a
was
weekly series.
But it almost took like, I remember, like 6 to 8 months before it got picked up as a series. It was just a once in a while thing. And it was the scariest thing I'd ever seen when I was a kid, because and just the way it was presented, and I think the difference is that Robert Stack really played up the mystery aspects of it, and Dennis Farina was a real cop, and so you kind of felt like, well, he's not shaken by any of this stuff. He would just shake these people down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and anybody out there who likes Jeepers Creepers, almost the entire first act of Jeepers Creepers was an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Like, shot
pissed you off. Look up the killer. The killer's name is Dennis Depew, and I believe the second or third season. Jeepers Creepers was totally ripped off by that one episode.
And literally shot for shot.
Literally shot for shot. Yeah. And I've been saying that for years. Ever since I saw it in the theater, I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. I knew it. I absolutely knew it at the time. Yeah.
So there was somebody throwing bodies into like a death pit, like in the first one, like, because where does
in the
it
back of a school?
We're not talking a guy with bat wings that flies, right? That sniffs people. Where do we stop?
The truck following the kids on the road, like just the way that whole setup was happening.
Oh man,
Yep.
And then they see they saw the guy in the back of a school with like a sheet that was bloody, him walking around the back of the and then he started following them in his truck.
It's on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. You will not believe it.
It is.
So anyway, I'm sure Piz will tell you guys a little bit more about how the show is going to be formatted as we're going forward. I just want to say thank you guys for everything. Piz, Stone, Lauren, Jamie, Christian, Raiho, Jay. I don't know where Eric went, but it's great seeing you guys, and I will see you guys soon.
Bye, Eric.
Bye.
Bye, Cameron.
Take care, man.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
Take care.
But yeah, I've really enjoyed the new Unsolved Mysteries. I didn't know if I was going to, because I love the old Unsolved Mysteries so much.
Right.
I love the silhouette of Robert Stack at the beginning. I love that they didn't.
I love that.
They gave me chills the first time I watched the first episode when that came up. I was like, oh man, that is just awesome.
Hashtag Stack.
Yeah.
And they didn't. I mean, they tweaked the music a little bit, but it's still that classic Unsolved Mysteries theme.
Yes. Yes.
And I have to admit, the first episode, for at least the first few minutes, like there not being a narrator and there not being the dramatic reenactments, kind of, I was like, I don't know about this. But then when the mystery kicked in, I was taken.
Yeah.
Well, most of all, I'm just glad they got rid of that stupid disclaimer in the beginning. And on the Amazon Prime episodes, they insisted on putting that disclaimer in front of every episode. Like, this show was about unsolved mysteries. Whenever possible, the family members and police officials have participated in recreating the events, blah, blah, blah. I always hated that. I've always hated that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me, though.
Yes, there was an episode of Unsolved Mysteries that featured Matthew McConaughey. He actually gets killed. He gets shot like 25 times in that dramatic reenactment too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Texas Most Wanted. That's the name of the episode. Texas Most Wanted.
So I mean, he was a beast. He just kept taking those bullets, man.
What's y'all's favorite episode, Stone? Because I was the alien guy. The alien episode was what got me, man.
You know what? I'll say this. The scariest episode that I remember, the one that just, freaked me the hell out, was there was apparently this serial killer that would patrol Ohio interstates and pick up prostitutes and essentially beat them to death, mutilated them, and then would keep them in the back of his truck refrigerated for over a month, and then would dump them randomly on the side of the highway. And like the only clues they knew to this guy's identity was, he used the CB handles Dr. No, Stargazer, or Dragon. Like
Yeah.
that's literally all they knew about this guy. And they were thinking, wow, this guy probably has some kind of police experience or security guard experience because, he's able to get away with this, with no witnesses. And it's terrifying, just absolutely terrifying. And I still remember one interviewer said, that prostitutes make the ideal serial killer victim because their disappearances are not reported right away. That's why the Green River Killer was able to get away with it, 49 times at least up in Washington. Gary Ridgway, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that was probably. Too, so. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the first episode was killer too. I got a lot of questions about that crazy son of a gun with that note he left, that underground world, and what was that, Piz? What did he say?
Oh, I still think that guy had like an undiagnosed, like maybe like bipolar disorder or something. I think it may have been. I've read some stuff that some of his friends may have been like playing the game on him, and like making him think that he was in the game, and they didn't realize how far it was going. Maybe I've read some pretty wild theories, but.
That note, man. Yeah. That note freaked me out.
I saw an update where they were talking about how they'd had that note analyzed by, this person and that person in the FBI and, trying to crack the, trying to crack it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know that's my favorite episode of the new series. That one just really intrigued the crap out of me.
Oh, which one?
The Ray Rivera one.
Yeah. First one.
Oh yes, the hole in the
my God.
And
no answers on that thing, man.
No.
What happened?
And then you find that the note, and that to me that was a guy who he knew he was going to die. His house had been broken into two separate occasions. He knew that he knew that his wife's life was in danger. He probably knew that night that he left that he wasn't going to come back. And he left that note thinking somebody will crack it. I think that the answers are in that note because he's talking about. The opening line was about a secret society. He's talking about Stanley Kubrick, whose last film was about a secret society. I don't know. It's wild stuff, man.
I think I heard that guy, that Porter Stansbury cat. I don't think they got really in depth on it in the show on like what had happened to him beforehand, but he wanted this guy to come in and clean his image up because he had some dirty dealings and they wanted to make sure they got their stock prices up. And from what I've heard, it was something to do with the Russians. Like there was some kind of like Russian mafia even. And like then that leads to maybe this kid found out what was going on because his legs were broken up pretty bad. I think they even said that it might not have been involved with the fall, so like he may have been roughed up, beat up, and thrown off the roof. Like that could be it too. Right?
Another thing that freaked me out too is like he was deathly afraid of heights, and they kept showing just how far the fall would have been from the top of the Belvedere.
I'm afraid of heights, and I was like, my stomach was turning watching that stuff.
And his glasses and phone were supposedly strategically placed because they didn't have cracks in them whatsoever. So if he jumped, then how did they survive unscathed?
I don't think he jumped, and I honestly don't think they threw him either. I think he was placed there. I think they dragged his body in there. I think that the hole, it was like a convenience.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that maybe it was a weather-created hole. I mean, it's possible that it's not, but they might have created it some other way. I think his body was definitely dragged in there. I don't think they threw him.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, what's interesting, too, is how quick the cops always want to just say, suicide, move on.
Yeah.
They always do that.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so with my cousin's case, I hate cops because, especially the cops around here, because it was an election year and they let the politics, rule the situation. When they found her body, they had so many people traipsing around in the crime scene, and they didn't know what they were doing, that they ruined all of the evidence that was there, if there was any.
Compromised everything.
And they wanted somebody so bad, they went after two guys who had nothing, literally zero, to do with any of it. And my family has its theories. I have my theory, but it's not an easy theory for me to talk about because it does involve her husband, and he's actually my cousin by blood. She was just by marriage.
Right.
But I loved her. I was 14. She was 36. Her daughter and I were really close cousins. You know, it just messed up my whole family. Sorry, there's something flying around in front of me. So I don't know. I don't remember where I was going with this.
You were pretty much saying that the cops will mess with the investigation.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just did a shit job, and because of that, nothing ever will be solved ever. They cannot solve it. It's impossible.
Horrible.
I don't know if they even have her remains anymore, or if Mark got rid of them, or what, you know. But the bones had stab marks, so whoever did it did it like
malicious
a lot,
as hell,
with a lot of force, and I just think that's a crime of passion.
Horrible.
Her van was found in one place, her purse was found in another, her keys were found in another, and that was all like within the day of her coming up missing. But then her body wasn't found for 2 years, and it was found across the state line. So it was messed up.
Oh man,
yeah, it's awful.
Awful.
It'll never be solved.
See if you get it on season 2 of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean that. But
Seriously, Jamie, maybe.
Yeah. I cannot, because her sisters, they don't want to ever talk about it again.
I can understand that.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So.
Oh man.
But I can tell you that my cousin Mark's mother, he basically disowned her, or she basically disowned him and wrote him out of the will, and then made my grandma executor of the will. Which there's only one reason to me that she would do that. I mean, she just signed off her son like nothing, her only son. So I don't know. It seems fishy.
Yeah.
And the night that my grandma went there to clean everything up, I went with her, and he showed up. So I don't know. It's just weird.
Our old buddy Chris, Crystal Lake Counselor 1977's in the chat. Chris, how are you doing? Anybody else thoughts on the new season of? And I have heard that they are going to do a season 2.
I heard that as early as October there might be more episodes, because from what I heard there was supposed to be 12, but 6 got delayed with COVID.
Yeah.
So we might even in October get hit with another 6 episodes in the same season. Like, if you notice, they call it like series or volumes or something like that on this.
Right.
It's not the same naming. So I think they're going to do like season 1 might be 2 volumes, and then after that, when there's more consistent production, you might see it go to series or season or something like that. So hopefully more episodes.
I just wanted more. That's my only complaint.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that
I wanted more paranormal ones too, because I love that UFO one, and there was no ghost one or anything like that. And I was like, that kind of stuff wasn't always on the show, but for me, it was my favorite stuff. So
Me too.
I was going to say that I think somebody on Twitter said it best in regards to how the police tend to screw up everything. A lot of these unsolved mysteries is the result of just bad police work. It's just horrible police work. And I mean, I'm glad they did the 4th episode, because look, there is a reason why I refer to the cops nowadays as the Blue Klux Klan, because that's exactly what they are. I mean, during the training, it's so bad, it's so horrible what they're actually taught and ingrained in their culture. It's the worst. I was going to say real quick to close out Unsolved Mysteries, my favorite segments have always been the mysterious legends, like the alternate histories, where I do believe to this day that John Wilkes Booth actually escaped after he murdered President Lincoln, and they provided compelling evidence on stories like that, how supposedly the man that shot Martin Luther King probably never shot him. I mean, they did so many stories like that, which were very detailed and very compelling. I'm hoping they really do stories like that again too. Really do.
Mm-hmm. Were there any others during the season that stood out? Because I did the one that we already talked about with the hairdresser who disappeared, and that was a really good one. I personally did not care too much for the UFO one.
Whatever, Pierce.
That was disappointing.
You're an alien.
Yeah.
That's why you don't care.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet because I've only watched the first 3.
I loved it, Jamie. Check out the alien one. I'm telling you, my favorite one. That
I
was
will.
scary stuff to me.
I
will.
also
One thing I'll
haven't.
say about the sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but the
No, go ahead.
UFO one. I randomly follow someone on Twitter that is from that area, and when they watched the episode, they were like, "Hey, I live here." And apparently, according to them, I talked to them for a second. The people that were on the show, like, they don't have the best opinion of them. They go around telling their story to everybody. They just want to get on TV. So after hearing that, it makes it a little less like it's they just really wanted to make a show.
It don't matter, Ryan. It's good television, baby.
But
That's all
I
that
like
matters.
Yep.
I'm not,
Yep.
I haven't seen the one that's subtitled. I've not watched that one yet, and that's
Oh,
the
that's a
only
good
one that I haven't
And that's
seen.
one
Yeah.
of the ones that I think is going to have an update very soon.
That would be Lauren's favorite. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty
Trade a friend.
impressed. I'm pretty impressed with the new Unsolved Mysteries. Pretty happy about it.
I did watch that subtitle one, but I didn't pay much attention. Sorry.
Me neither.
I was Netflix
Very
and
clear who
chilling.
did it.
Oh yeah,
Really
I was watching with my girlfriend, and we got to that when we were just kind of machine gunning them all. We got to that one, and I was like, "Do you feel like reading?" She's like, "No," and I said, "All right, skip."
Oh my
So-
God.
we moved on to the
When
next.
you brought up UFOs, I was going to say real quick that, hey, I think the news story of 2020 is when the Navy finally confessed, oh yeah, UFOs exist. Thank you to former Blink 182 man, Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
Tom DeLonge, he's the man, dude. He knew it for years.
And he was
Aliens
gonna do it,
exist.
Everybody laughed at him. He said it. He was going to do it, and everybody laughed at him.
He did it. He did it. He pushed the Navy to say, yeah, UFOs exist. Thank you. It's about time you admitted that.
The one thing that I did like about the UFO episode was when the guy said that he heard a voice in his head that told him to go home, and he ran out of the house, and to him he was running full speed, but like the woman saw him and he was just running in place. For some reason I thought that was kind of freaky, like, you know.
Yeah, I visualize all that stuff when I hear it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this as soon as we're done.
Yeah.
It's good TV.
know.
Now, what Ryan's saying very well could be true, but it's good TV. Let me
It's a
tell
good
you
show.
that.
Don't let it color you because it is a fun episode. I thought. I mean, I was waiting for you.
Scared the hell out of me.
The one thing that made me doubt them, and this is with every alien abduction story, where was the probing?
You know what? There was not nearly enough probing. You're right.
That's the one thing that made me doubt them. Because I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
If you get abducted, that's the first thing that happens to you.
Yeah.
So they're like, if that didn't happen to them, then they're making it up. All right.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Lauren, we've not heard much from you lately. You should watch Unsolved Mysteries, the new season. I think you'd like it, my friend. But
Yes.
do you have any topics you want to bring up tonight?
Yeah, I just don't watch a lot of television at all. So I mean, I never really have. So it's like I really don't have anything to say about Unsolved Mysteries. I'm sure it's great, but I'm not gonna really go there either. Probably. Yeah, there's a lot I'd like to talk about. But I want to start with something really positive. I mean, so you guys on the show have already heard me talk about this, but a movie came out theatrically 2 weeks ago to drive-ins primarily in this country because that's what's open, called Relic. And last Friday, it actually hit all the VOD services. And Relic is this year's Hereditary. It's the smart, moody, slow burn with a lot to say. It's smart, it's literate, and it's incredibly acted. And I feel really bad for the film having come out this year because COVID colors out everything. You can't have any conversation go longer than maybe 20 minutes without some oblique or explicit reference to what we're going through. And I think this film needed a much wider audience because even though Hereditary didn't do very well at the box office, it did well enough to start the ball rolling to get its reputation building. And I'm worried that's not happening with Relic, and it really deserves a lot of eyes. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen it in the meantime since I've been screaming to high heaven. And in the chat, certainly, if you haven't seen it, please, please, please see Relic.
Yeah. Tom Sizemore's great in it. Great performance from Tom Sizemore.
Wrong Relic.
What?
Wrong Relic.
That's the only Relic that matters to me. It's the Tom Sizemore Relic.
Okay.
No, but I've not had a chance to watch it yet. It is on my list because I've heard very good things about it from others besides you. So.
Hashtag not my relic.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's definitely on my list, and I think it's
Me too.
It's on Amazon Prime. I forget how much the price was, but it didn't seem
It was
to.
$6.
Yeah,
I was gonna
not
say
bad.
the regular rental price.
Yeah, not bad.
That's fair.
It really needs to get onto one of the subscription services so people will watch it without reservation, and I think that'll happen soon. But again, it was one of those films that was going to go into limited release anyway. It wasn't going to get a wide release to begin with, so it might actually work out okay for it. It is an Australian film. It's just a film. It's a film about death and dying and coming to grips with end of life issues. And if that sounds boring to you, you need to see the film because it is a completely competent haunted house thriller. In a way, not in like the Blumhouse haunted house thriller type way. There's absolutely no jump scares in it. All the ideas are woven into the story like really cleverly. It has some of the best dialogue written for any film in the last 10 years. So I really, really strongly recommend people. I think it's the best thing so far that come out in 2020.
Steak Sauce coming through with the $5 super chat. He says, "More probing, please."
Yes.
So,
Can't have enough probing.
so there you go. Well, thank you for that super chat, Steak Sauce. We'll make that a
Saucy.
mandatory requirement for all future episodes. Someone has to be probed. So, Stingray's like,
Wait, where did Eric go? I nominate Eric for that, dude.
I nominate Eric as well.
Exactly.
He's gone.
Visit to the proctologist costs more than $5.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, but a visit to that house without shutters at the end of the block isn't.
That's true. That's true. Oh, and Steak Sauce wants us to mention his @OffTheGrillCast Twitter.
That'd be another.
@OffTheGrillCast.
That should have been another $5, Pidge. You just really lost out on that one.
I should have. But yes, if you've not seen Relic, look into it. It is available VOD.
Have any of you seen it?
Not yet.
I've been meaning to, but I did not. I got busy last
I don't think
weekend.
it's up there yet. I'm gonna check right now.
Peoples, come on. The good stuff, don't ignore it.
I just got my TV hooked back up. My entire living room is torn apart right now, so
Well,
I was
and
lucky to even get him to hook it up for 5 minutes.
And speaking of Steak Sauce, I've been busy with one of his review requests for Bruiser. So sorry, Relic just can't find time in my schedule. I've been watching Bruiser. George Romero's Bruiser.
George Romero's Bruiser.
I think it's Bruiser taking some time to get through.
No,
especially on a rewatch.
Stingray, Steak Sauce is a fan of Bruiser too.
That's awesome.
So
I think Steak Sauce is
Steak Sauce comes up with the best review request. Children of the Children of the Living Dead.
Great film.
That's in my favorites. I love that review.
I think we need to get John Russo on this show for a live commentary of Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And the whole 90 minutes, he should just apologize.
I'm so sorry.
I actually don't think it was George Russo's fault that the movie turned out that way. I think it was. We won't go there.
Got some Bruiser love in the chat.
We do got some Bruiser love.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Why hasn't Bruiser come to Blu-ray?
Because it won't sell.
Well, has anybody?
4K. I demand it.
Yeah.
It barely sneaked out on VHS. It's not gonna sell.
That's such a weird movie in Romero's Uver. It just I don't know.
I would have really liked to have seen Romero do that Resident Evil. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. Did you read the screenplay?
Apparently, his screenplay was really bad. Like
it's awful. It's bad.
Yeah, the Capcom people were like, "This is garbage."
He did do the commercial though, I think, in Japan, didn't he? Or something
He did.
like that?
Yeah. He did. Yeah.
I was gonna say they threw him a bone.
So if people had big complaint about the Resident Evil movies is that they're too removed from the video game, Romero's was even further removed. So.
Yeah. What else you got on your mind, Lauren?
Well, I really want to talk about the Popcorn Frights Film Festival and Shudder coming together. They're actually doing a touring festival of small independent horror films. It only is touring through Florida and mostly southern Florida. But if this is successful, we might see a rollout nationwide, which would be really nice. So on the 25th of last month in Fort Lauderdale, they showed their new film Yummy and Beach House. And it gave these tremendous exposure for these films that otherwise would have been dumped onto streaming, and a month later no one would be talking about them. And this is so cool to me for a couple reasons. I've been going to the drive-in recently, and that's where I saw Relic. And I think it's important that we preserve some way for films to be seen inside a community setting. It doesn't have to be a conventional movie theater, perhaps, but I think it is very important that these stay part of the center of our culture and not our living room. So I really want to. I think it's amazing that this streaming service, which has very little to gain by doing this, really has partnered with a film festival, and they've found a solution to provide entertainment for horror fans in this time. I think that's an incredible thing. They plan on touring throughout Florida with these titles, and the other thing I just think is we need to somehow break the monopoly of Hollywood on the titles that are coming out that people all know, because I don't want to pick on anything, but I will pick on things because I don't care. If it's The Grudge or The Turning, didn't we learn our lesson early this year when theaters were still open? Like, Hollywood is not giving us films that are as good as a lot of what's coming out first run streaming on Shudder or on other platforms. So this might help to really get people who otherwise wouldn't be in the loop about the smaller films. I think this is an incredibly vital, important thing. Have any of you made it out to a drive-in? I mean, Christian doesn't have one near him because he lives in nowhere.
I would if I could, man.
I have one near me, but I haven't been. It is quite a drive for me. I wish there was one closer. We used to have them in our town, but we just don't anymore, and that's sad. But Scott and I have been talking about opening one. And in the summer here, we have the National Comedy Center in Jamestown, and they do show outdoor films, where the community all comes together on the lawn and watches movies on the big screen outside. But they canceled them for the summer, so there's none of that going on.
It's too bad.
It is, especially because my town right now is trying to become more cultured and more tourist based, and that kind of messes everything up. Lucille Ball is from my town.
Oh,
yeah, that's why I was talking about the Ugly Lucy statue on Lauren's show the other night. Somebody come get it, because I don't like looking at it when I'm trying to eat my lunch down there in the park.
There's a drive-in probably about 45 minutes away from me. I've never been to it, but 45 minutes to an hour, just depending on traffic. But I don't know.
That's about what I'm talking.
Yeah, I've just not ventured out too far. And really, I mean, like there's a theater near me that's open now, but all they're playing like the Jaws and Empire Strikes Back and stuff like that. And some of that I thought about going to and taking Jeremy, but I don't know. I'm still kind of like I don't want to get him out, and but I don't know.
Well, when I had Aaron Kuntz on my channel, the creator of Scare Package, he talked at length about the drive-ins actually being the lifeblood right now for independent horror films, in particular genre films, is that it's provided one of the few ways for these films to break through, and it's a very exciting thing. I just want to see people support it as an option, because honestly, the problem is if your film premieres on a streaming service, within a month, it really is buried.
Agreed.
And physical media is not going to be around to prolong it, so.
Yep. That's true. I saw for Scare Package, I saw just the artwork beforehand. I thought it was really cool, like kind of VHS throwback. But I wouldn't have watched it probably if it didn't come up on Joe Bob one night. You know what I mean? But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was great. It had 2 wraparounds. The whole thing was just really neat movie that I wouldn't have checked out otherwise probably. And I've heard something about the Beach House, but I haven't had a chance to look into it yet.
What
But
was
I didn't hear yummy. I thought.
what was the name of the movie that was like the big winner of the
Wretched?
The Wretched, yes, the horror movie that was #1 at the box office for an entire month.
3 weeks. 3 weeks of solid.
Oh, 3 weeks. I thought it was 4. I thought it was 4.
Yeah, Jurassic Park actually bumped it, but yeah. So it's the most successful horror film ever, if you use the metric of weeks at #1. But you see, that's the thing. Like, that movie traditionally would have gotten 3 screens in America contractually, wouldn't have been promoted, wouldn't have sold many tickets because it would have just gotten buried under everything else out, and then it would have went to a streaming service where it would have done whatever. But a lot of these films are being made for, less money than you think, almost like Roger Corman days money. Like, they're finding $100,000 to $500,000 to make a film, and it's a struggle to make it back without some form of, traditional exhibition, because whether you like it or not, traditional exhibition gets people talking. If you go to a movie, you're more likely to talk to someone about the movie you went and saw than if you watch it in your living room.
That's true.
So, yeah, so The Wretched benefited. I still haven't seen it, and that's a little bit... It didn't actually play near me, so that's one thing. But, it's funny, because this also leads to another subject I really wanted to throw out to you guys, which is that Alamo Drafthouse has launched their streaming service, Alamo On Demand. And I found it interesting that right out of the gate, what they introduced first was 17 Lucio Fulci films on their site, plus the new documentary Fake for Fulci, and they have Ari Aster curating double features that he finds inspiring. So, I mean, again, I think if we're trying to find where streaming really fits into the mix, that's it right there. The average person is not going to buy a copy of The Devil's Honey just to see it. Though, if you want to see a woman have sex with a saxophone, you probably should.
Who doesn't?
But so like a streaming service makes a lot of sense for that kind of a title, because then you're into it. Then maybe you will purchase it. And Ari Aster is just obviously just one of the foremost voices in our genre.
Yeah. Well, and The Wretched was not bad. I enjoyed The Wretched quite a bit. It's not perfect. It's got some problems, but it's perfectly fun.
Cool.
For the record, the Fulci titles are Enigma of the Beyond, Black Cat, Cat in the Brain, City of the Living Dead, Contraband, Demonia, Devil's Honey, Don't Torture a Duckling, Four of the Apocalypse, House by the Cemetery, Lizard in a Woman's Skin, Manhattan Baby, New York Ripper, Perversion Story, Zombie, and Zombie 3.
Is that literally all they have? Like, if you sign up for it, you get...
No, there's a full program, but they actually had a big press release that was geared towards genre outlets for Fulci, which is interesting because we all know Fulci on some respect, but he's still not a mainstream name to middle America. But again, it's nice to see these companies trying to actually work the right angles.
Definitely. Jada Stingray posted in the chat that Come to Daddy is now on Amazon Prime, and that's one of my favorite movies of this year. I really liked Come to Daddy.
Oh,
Me too. Really liked that movie.
Really fun.
Let me
Is that
mention.
the Kevin Bacon joint?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Is that the Kevin Bacon movie? Or
No. Oh God.
No.
God. Oh
No.
no. No.
Which one am I thinking of then?
This is
The
has got.
Woodsman.
No, that's a good movie. You should have left. You should have left is the one.
You should have left. That's okay.
And no one should see that movie. That's
It's that bad, eh?
It's
yes.
bad?
Yes, God. Ugh. Come to Daddy's got Elijah Wood in it.
Oh, I remember that one. That's the one where he goes to see his dad in a cabin. It's got a comedy angle on it, does it? Or
Yeah, it's
dark comedy maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. But
It's good.
Come to Daddy was good.
It
I'll
is.
check that out. That sounds cool.
Let me before we get into any more topics, let me mention how we're planning on moving forward with Region Free when we do return for a full new season. The way that we're wanting to format the show now is to, and really we're not looking at doing seasons. We're looking at doing shows, a couple of shows a month, and discussing current events. But having occasional topics like we would have with the Sausage Factory, doing fun little live commentaries as well. But as far as what we're going to do with the full live archived episodes, we are going to start a Patreon, and we're going to have one of our patron exclusives is access to the full archived episodes. And on our channel, we're going to break those episodes up as far as, we talked about the Friday the 13th box set earlier. So that whole part of the show would be cut into a video just talking about the Friday the 13th box set, for instance. So, and throughout the week, we'll drop, 10-minute videos or so talking about those specific topics from a full show. So it's kind of more content. And if you want the full uncut, unedited episode, that'll be available on our Patreon. Also, of course, how we used to do Viewers' Choice live commentaries. That's where we'll do those. As far as the voting is concerned, we'll probably do some, patron only live commentaries that'll be available just there, and that sort of thing. So it's the same show. I think maybe just a little bit more focused. And our shows are probably going to be more in the range of 2 hours. Maybe 2.5 hours at the tops, because who's got time for a 3.5 hour, 4 hour show, honestly.
Steak sauce,
yeah. So I guess we're streamlining the show a little bit, and we're hoping to we're rebranding, we're streamlining, and we're hoping to make the show grow. And yeah, so there you go. Somebody in the chat mentioned B-Movie Mike. B-Movie Mike, he could not make it tonight, but B-Movie Mike is back. So don't worry about B-Movie Mike. So that's what we're going to do moving forward. I'll have the Patreon created, and I have that up fairly soon. I'll have it posted on social media and stuff if you guys are interested to become patrons. And we'll have other patron exclusive stuff also. So... and I mean, Roy, that's about it. Lauren, is there anything you want to add? Anything I overlooked?
No, it's just that I think that the format will be a little bit... the format will allow us to have a lot better conversations, I think. And I think the value for the consumer is going to be better. I think if you want to watch a free show, you're still going to be able to watch a free show. If you want additional content, it's going to allow us the ability to create that content for you. Whereas in the past, the biggest problem is we all have regular lives, regular jobs, regular commitments. So how much can you really throw? And unfortunately, I know Piz isn't going to like me saying this, but a lot of times it just fell on Piz to actually, kind of shoulder a lot of the work. This way, it's going to allow us to share the burden of the show. And if you don't do this, you might not realize that there is work behind the scenes. It's unfortunately not a matter of just pushing a button, going live, and spewing words. So I think this is the healthy way forward. It was a lot of conversations between a lot of different members here. And I think that the end result is I think you're going to get a show that is going to be familiar, but you're going to be able to see in a really fresh light. And I think it's going to be a lot more vital, to be honest with you. And who knows, if it gets big enough, then the value is going to become much greater. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it's pretty major that you guys added a female.
Absolutely.
We're trying to set the tone right now that things are changing. We're trying to make a more, I don't know, I don't want to say it's a more streamlined, it's just a more professional experience, I think is the way to put it, I think, going forward. And we want to make sure we have all the voices covered, and we're not just a bunch of dudes up here going on about breakfast cereal.
Well, I am very, very, very pleased and grateful to be chosen to be on this show with you guys. I really am. So thank you.
I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been watching you guys for a long time, you know, like years. And for a long time, I never even said a word in the chat. I just would watch you guys, you know, and listen to your chats while I would be crocheting because I crochet.
Probably rolling your eyes at a lot of stuff we said.
No, I laugh a lot. I mean, come on, I'm on Twin Peaks Coffee Time. I can put up with loads and extreme amounts of male crap. So,
Oh boy.
so yeah.
Well, and I mean, you know, honestly, I mean, because I've invited females to be part of the show in the past, and they
Never worked out.
It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out.
Would you like to be on the Sausage Factory?
But
That's part of it right there,
well,
right?
This is why we're region free now.
But I mean, they knew what kind of show we were. They knew us, you know. So I mean, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason. But you know, I think and I think the name change too is maybe to be a little more accessible, without, you know, and that, you know. But without, you know, say like, oh, we're going to filter ourselves or anything. I mean, it's still us. It's still, you know, we're still us. It's just, I don't know. I think we needed a fresh start, honestly, because, I mean, honestly, for me, I only envision the Sausage Factory going for my vision of it was 10 seasons and we're done. Or I was going to be done because we were done with 8, and I was thinking 2 more and then we're done. So I mean, I think a fresh start was a new beginning was needed. So,
But it is more than a fresh coat of paint. This is going to help us with a lot of areas. I mean, the problem with a jokey name and a lack of you know, a format is that a lot of people from the outside who we'd love to have on the show maybe wouldn't come on. So that's what we're building towards, something that I think that all of you are going to be very impressed with. I think if you look at Piz's channel recently, and definitely Christian's channel recently, you see a little bit of just an expanding of the reach.
Yeah.
well,
I watch both of you guys, and it's awesome.
well,
Thank you.
And here's the thing too, and you know, when I would reach out to celebrities, and there were a couple of celebrities that just flat out said to me, "Hey, what's with this name? What's up with the name?" Like literally, they were like, "What's up with the name?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's just, you know, a bunch of guys sitting around. It's a sausage factory." And they'd be like, "Oh, okay." So I'm sure there were probably, you know, guests that I reached out to, and they were like, "I don't know, I don't get this. I'm not down with that." The name probably turned some off because honestly, I won't name names, but there were a couple who they said yes, and then they completely flaked at the last minute. I mean, you know, they could just be flaky, or they could be like, "Do I want to be on a show called The Sausage Factory?"
I remember when I first said anything in the chat, the first thing I said was, "Is it okay if a woman speaks up in here? Because, you know, I kind of like what you guys are saying, and I have some things to say about it." And I can't remember what the topic was, but I remember everybody going, yeah, girls can talk in here. Go ahead. And I was like thrilled by that. I was like, oh, awesome. So,
Hell yeah.
because I don't get to talk movies with a lot of people around here, believe me. All that's
I
around
believe
me are Amish people.
Oh,
I believe you.
It's boring around here, I'll tell you what.
but there's lots of good food around there, though, I'm sure, and very sturdy furniture.
Yes.
So, Garrett's in the chat. My buddy Garrett, how's it going, Garrett? How you doing, man? We've had a couple of people mention the Child's Play little teaser. We'll get to that here momentarily. One thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys, and to the guys and gal, and everybody in the chat too, is there's been a lot of heated debate about conventions during the pandemic. And there are still conventions that are planning to go this year. One that's actually planning to start tomorrow, despite the fact that despite the fact that every celebrity's canceled, and they've still not announced that every celebrity's canceled. I think as of right now, the only celebrities that are definitely going to be there are Warrington Gillette and Tony Moran. So
Well,
sounds like a sellout.
Action-packed show.
yeah. They were announcing Brad Dourif, even though Brad Dourif allegedly canceled over a month ago. They were still promoting him. They did say that he canceled, but that was just the other day. Anyway, and a lot of people are, is it irresponsible? Should we just throw our hands up and say, look, 2020 is a wash, forget about it. Let's let's count our losses and just hope that 2021 will be a fresh start. Would any of you guys go to a convention? Would any of you guys go to a convention tomorrow?
No.
I'm still taking the risk and going to the New Jersey Con in September.
Maybe you are.
That con may that con may change before then. I'm not sure what's going on with that con, but
yeah, I'd definitely go. I don't think a lot of these guests are older folks that probably shouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think about too. How are you going to like when you pay $50 and get your picture taken with your favorite actor who's wearing a mask over their face?
Yeah,
are you gonna hang that on your wall?
I got an email from a convention. I actually represent a celebrity who does conventions, and I got an email from a convention that he's scheduled at, and the email was telling me what all the conditions were going to be if this convention goes forward. And the stipulations were everybody's wearing a mask, period. No celebrities, everybody's got a mask on, no questions. Everybody who walks in the door is getting their temperature taken as soon as they walk in the door.
Okay.
Rectally. No.
Only way bring them back that probe.
That takes care of the probing.
Everybody's getting their temperature taken. No mask, no entry. Now the way that I read this was, there will always be someone separating you from the celebrity. Like
someone or something.
Someone on the floor. If you're on the floor and like you're giving, they're encouraging no cash. And if you're taking a picture with them at their table, there's going to be somebody between you and the celebrity. That was how I read it. That was how
because COVID doesn't stick to credit cards.
Yeah. And if there's somebody in between, like the person's handing back, like it's like I can't give you COVID. I'm the guy. I'm the in between guy.
And if you do the photo ops, you can remove your mask, but there will be a plexiglass shield between you and the celebrity.
Actually, in a way, wouldn't it be like the coolest convention to go to? Like to have these weird ass pictures for like 20 years. Like,
is Hector going to be there for God's sakes? Because at least you could do something with that.
Yeah, you're gonna have the mask.
At least you could do something with it.
I don't, because I mean, because I'm thinking like, so there's going to be a picture of you with a celebrity, both of you with masks on. So can you even tell that that's the celebrity? Are you going to be like, no, really, that's Tony Todd? Well, I can't tell he's wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. But no, seriously, it's Tony Todd.
They have these clear face shield things.
Oh yeah.
That like a lot of like nurses and doctors and stuff wear.
Right.
And I happen to know a few people who wear those at work. That could work for them.
They just need to get a picture of the bottom part of their face printed on the mask.
Yeah.
You want a wicked smile.
Mark Patton did that. He's got a Jesse thing, like his
That's
face
funny.
mask.
But I mean, even if you do brave it to go out to a convention, there's all these stipulations, and I mean, I don't know. For me, I just think we need to call 2020 a wash and just postpone everything to 2021 and hope that things are better. Honestly,
it's hard, man, because this is some people's livelihoods. I get that. I really do. I can't forgive lying to your audience and not saying that this person's canceled or this person's canceled. But I can imagine the people that are and nobody said the name of the convention, so I won't unless somebody wants to. But I can understand the stress and the fear that some of these people are going through trying to make money off of this or that. This is why this Cameo thing's so big right now. And people are going to Cameo and they're saying, oh, some certain people are fairly priced, I think. And you can get $50. I think we were talking about Matthew Lillard. $60, $50-$60. You can get Matthew Lillard to do a little video for your wife or your daughter. He could be Shaggy or something. There's some viable options out there, safe options out there. Because I'm not going to a convention this year. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, one guy who represents a lot of celebrities, he's been setting up get-togethers like this, where you have a Skype chat with your favorite celebrity for whatever the price is or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not the same, but you get 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever for however much money, and it's just you and them via Skype. I don't know.
I think that's still thrilling.
Sure.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
I would be excited by that.
I would too.
But that's just because I literally cannot go anywhere until this is all over. I have been locked down since the very first week it started, and I have not gone hardly anywhere because I have a compromised immune system. If I get it, it'll probably kill me.
Yeah.
And because the flu almost killed me 2 years ago. So I'm worried about this big time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But luckily, people around here are kind and they wear their masks, and they're it's kind of a close knit community. So people are being cautious for each other's sakes. Which I like.
What country are you in?
I'm in Western New York. I live just below the Niagara Falls area.
Pretty close to Canada. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was at Niagara Falls a couple years ago. First time. It was beautiful.
It's gorgeous, but I take it for granted because it's so close to me. I've seen it 100,000 times, and I forget it's even there. I actually prefer going to the other little hidden places in New York, like Letchworth Park, which I'll show you guys pictures sometime. There's so many hidden waterfalls there, and they're all gorgeous. And that park, I stayed there for 2 weeks or a week. One time, and in a cabin, and it was incredible. They have nice cabins with air conditioning and refrigerators and stoves and everything. It's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
It is.
Yeah, I may have to ask you about that. I really want to take Jeremy to Niagara Falls, but I know I'd have to get him like the passport new thing, because being that close to Canada, he'd sneak in. He'd just run through custom, Canada, just to be like, I'm in Canada. So
you can come over and have some Canadian McDonald's.
Exactly.
Yeah. It used to be easy to cross the border back in the day when I was because when I turned 19, you could drink in Canada, when you were 19, but it was 21 here. So my friends and we always used to get in the car and go over to Canada and get drunk for a night, go to a club or whatever. And it used to be easy. You didn't have to have a passport. All you needed is your ID. But now they've knuckled down since 9/11, so you can't get through there anymore.
Yeah.
Big time. I lived really close to Minnesota for a bit, and it was like right then you had to have the passport, you had to do all the things. It was brutal to get over. But before that, all the locals were like, they bomb down wherever they go. You know what I mean? They don't give a shit. They just drive across their, take their 4-wheeler and go across or whatever. But it was a different time back then. I had friends that went to school near there. And it's kind of the other way around. They would go down to the States for cheap liquor. So much cheaper. So they would go down there, stock up, hide it in their truck, and drive back.
That's true. It was very expensive to go drinking in Canada. Very expensive. But I used to do it anyway.
Is the drinking age still 19?
It's 19. I think in Quebec it might actually be 18. And you hear rumblings that they might bump it down to 18, but it's 19 across the board.
Who cares more? It used to be 18 in Louisiana. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
I mean, if you can get drafted, come on, you can have a beer.
That's what I think.
If you can get drafted, you can have a draft.
There you go. There you go.
Just makes sense.
Was that the law until like the mid 80s, like 1986, something like that?
Yes. It wasn't nationalized in America. It was state by state.
Oh, okay.
My dad had his license at 15 too.
Yeah,
License.
I did too. Yeah, I did too.
I would have killed everybody.
I didn't get my license until I was 18, and then when I did, I had 3 car accidents in a row. So my senior year superlative was biggest threat to pedestrians.
Good
Wow.
God, Jamie.
Jeez, that's funny.
I hit a gas pump.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I was waving at my friends.
Well, okay. All right.
That story could have ended a lot worse. Trust me.
Yeah.
That was the mitigating factor right there. So why did the accident occur? Well, I was waving at my friends. All right, that's acceptable.
Yeah, and then my brother and my cousin were standing over on the other island getting gas in their car, and they're like, "Did you see that? Jamie almost blew up the place."
Oh my god.
Did you die though?
No, I'm alive. See,
Yeah.
There you go.
but yeah, that was funny.
So
I just did want to say that like celebrities are a very minor part of conventions for me. I mean, they're not the draw. I like being in the environment. I like seeing the goods on tables. I like seeing other horror fans and seeing what they're up to. I love seeing what the creative and not so creative cosplay is that year. It's very rare that I'm that excited about a celebrity. So to me, the celebrities and photos, that's not like a big deal. My problem is just that I think that for years the conventions have been overselling the rooms anyway, to the point where as you feel claustrophobic, you're knocking into everyone as if you're at a Slipknot concert, and you can't get near the tables without like pushing someone out of the way. It's gotten to the point where it's almost not a comfortable environment. So if this makes them a little bit more responsible about the amount of tickets or for the times, I would be happy long run anyway. So this might end up being a positive thing, even if we lose the year.
I know what you're saying, Lauren. I'm short too. I can't
Well,
breathe in
It's
the
not
crowd.
just about it's not just about short though. It's also just about like when you walk into a group of people, and Piz has made reference to this. You get all different types of people with all different types of hygienic routines.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're in very close proximity to a lot of them. And I just, to me, I would rather have an appointment time when I show up if I'm going to meet a celebrity than wait on a line anyway. I don't even understand why that is still the policy. It makes zero sense. With what they're charging, you should have a time, and if you don't show up, you miss your time. Tough. You make people responsible, but you show up at your time. You don't wait on a line. You're getting through. Worst case scenario, what? They run 20 minutes late because they're like 20 minutes late. That's still better than any lines we waited in. So I just think that maybe this is going to cause a re-envisionment of how conventions should run. And I think that's good. Also, there is a convention next year in New Jersey at the Convention Center, which I am fully. It's the Creation Fangoria Weekend of Horrors being reborn, and I support that because with a venue that big, we're not going to be, brushing feathers with every other bird in the house, and I think that is something we need to figure out. These small hotels, it can't go on.
Yeah. Well, I think they're gonna. One of the downsides I think is that pricing will go up.
Yes.
Will in an event to maybe cut down on people. So I think that's probably the first thing that's going to happen, is the pricing will go up. Just to get in, it'll be yeah. And celebrity.
Ouch.
And the cost
That's
for
going up.
autographs and stuff, that's going up next year too, no doubt about it.
And what sucks, Biz, is I'm not a big autograph guy. I like meeting the people, and a lot of these people don't give me the damn option to just pay for a picture.
Yeah.
It's $40.
Yeah.
Picture autograph, and I'll ask the liaison, can I just do that? No, it's just $40, because I just like I like to meet them. Autographs are cool. They're not my thing. I don't care about having autographs. I like meeting the people. That's why when I go to conventions, it's $10 t-shirts, Trick or Treat Studios booth, and I go in basically all the flea market tables where people are selling like Return of the Living Dead buttons and stuff like that. That's why I love going to the convention now, but I don't know.
See, what I like to get, if it's one that's far away from me that I'm going to be there the whole weekend, I like to get everything done on Friday, which is a slow day, and then the rest of the weekend, as far as celebrities are concerned, and then the rest of the weekend is just people watching and checking out the vendors and going to the panel discussions, and if there's screenings and stuff like that. That's really fun to me. So Friday when the doors open, or anytime Sunday really is the best day to go. And Sunday is your best day to hit up the vendors, because by then, if they've got stuff left over, they don't want to take it home with them. So, that's your time to bargain.
Yeah. Yeah. Texas Frightmare's due for a good venue, man. A new one, because, dude, last year it was literally horrible. My wife was like, we got to get out of here. I have anxiety from all this. I don't care. I have no problem being around people. I'll yell in a group of people, Sydney, come on. And everybody's staring. I don't care. But, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy how packed it is now. They need a new venue, because it's the hotel connected to the airport type thing.
Yeah.
And it's a disaster. It's just a disaster.
Yeah.
Do they reschedule it, or do they cancel it entirely?
They have it scheduled for September, but I'm just not going. It's not going to happen. But they have one thing. Texas Frightmare, I think they're a very professional organization. They're very good about keeping the people up to date on what's going on. But I do know that they don't want to cancel it until they just really know, because whoever runs these things, like I said, I try to keep the humanity in it. I know that these people that run this stuff, they make money from it. It's their livelihood. Yeah. I get that. It's just a tough situation. It really is. And I wish there could be some other things they can figure out to do, but I don't know. I'm not going. Because what I do, I tell these people, whenever you go see these booths, Creepy Co. and Paul Bear Press, take their cards. They have their info on them. You have to wait once a year to get their pins or whatever. Just get their information and go on their websites and support them throughout the year. So I have a box full of cards from Creepy Co., Paul Bear Press, this, that, the other, the third, all these cards from information, so sites I can look up and buy their stuff online. So,
yeah. Let's see. Somebody asked about. I don't know if you've ever answered this, Lauren. I know you go to a lot of conventions. Stingray, I know you go to quite a few, right? Any horror stories related to meeting celebs? Let's see who asked that. Let me find them. And go right ahead.
Movie Man 95.
Okay, Movie Man 95. And ever had any really bad meetings with a celeb, Lauren?
Well, Linda Blair is always my go-to answer for bad experiences, because she was dismissive and just rude and didn't want to be there. Made it very clear that she didn't want to be there. Was only signing her vegan cookbook. Didn't want to discuss anything. She would discuss Exorcist, sort of, but on a surface level. And I got to tell you something really. This is an aside, and I'm sorry this doesn't really even color the question you just asked. But I just came across back behind the scenes footage from the shooting of The Exorcist, and it's amazing when you look at Linda Blair as a kid actor, how much fun she's having and how much she seems to be enjoying, and how, like, you see her with William Friedkin, and you're your mind races to William Friedkin, the guy who's shooting guns to scare priests and having the right emotions. But he's laughing and joking, and it's clear that she's in a very safe place. And it's so exciting to see that. And then the person I met, what is that, 40 years later, man, it says something about our entertainment business.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Good. That's what I was going to say. It says something about, yeah, I mean, she's, she went from, I mean, she was nominated for an Oscar for The Exorcist, wasn't she? Was she?
Yeah.
Was
and
she?
she lost to somebody who was younger than her.
Okay.
But, I mean, literally my experience there was I wanted to talk to her about Hell Night. So I said, Hell Night is, I think, completely, and I didn't even, that's it. That's all I got. And she goes, I was like,
wow.
Okay,
I guess
I guess I'm not going to ask it that question. And I'm like, I'd like that one signed. That was it.
I remember I was hanging out near Danny Steinman's table at a convention where Linda Blair was, and like Danny Steinman didn't even know Linda Blair was there. Somebody told him, like, Linda Blair's here, and he was like, "Oh, I'll have to go say hi to her." And I was thinking, like, "Don't, dude," because she's probably not even gonna. Even if she does remember you, she's not gonna. know, yeah. So I was just thinking, like, I don't even want to watch that because that's just going to be super uncomfortable and sad.
And me, I'd love to walk up to her and to say, hey, remember that made-for-television movie you made where you went to the penitentiary and got raped with the plunger handle? Remember that? because I would do that,
She's
but I
not- yeah.
wasn't going to do that. I was trying to be respectful, but she wasn't respectful to me.
Yeah, she. I've told
Born
this,
Innocent, people, check it out.
I've told this story before, but she would only write certain things on people's posters to personalize them. So, like, if you wanted her to say a certain line from The Exorcist, she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't write it.
Your mother, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or
Even
you know,
Dane ones.
or let Jesus do his thing to you. She wouldn't write that either.
Oh man.
So
if I went to her with my Savage Streets Blu-ray where I'm pull quoted on the back, she's not going to give a shit.
she wouldn't care. She'd sign it if you paid her. But that's
Even
it.
if I made a donation to her cause.
No, if you walked up to her table with your phone out and you showed her a picture of your pet, or you had the screen to her website pulled up, and you were like, "Is this where I donate?" Then you'd have. That's how I did it, and I had a positive encounter with her. Because I was warned beforehand. If you want to have a good encounter with her, show her a picture of your pet, which is exactly what I did. And she was like, "Oh my God, he's so cute!" Oh, so that's how I had a positive encounter.
It almost sounds
Awesome.
like a Nazi from Seinfeld, right? Like you just have to go through the motions.
Lauren's got some sort of wild animal there.
This is the storm cloud. This is the crinkle ball killer.
Hi, Kitty.
Oh.
I don't think she can really tell who's talking, so she probably won't answer.
Yeah.
This is my
If I
girl.
could get Linda Blair and William Friedkin to sign my one sheet of The Exorcist, it'd be a dream come true, man.
Oh, I'd love to meet William Friedkin.
I just
Surprised he
want
doesn't do
to ask.
something.
I am too.
I just want to ask Linda Blair about that how-to video that she made in the late '80s called "How to Get Revenge on People," which had all these different ways of destroying people's lives, like destroying their Social Security and auto-rigging their car where they could die and everything. And she just says with a smile, "Confidence."
Wow.
Confidence.
Somewhere between Rick James and the Hells Angels.
Yeah, a lot of.
She's had a life.
She's had no doubt about that. What about you, Stingray? Have you had any horror stories with celebs? I've heard you mention some bad ones, but
I mean, really nothing too bad. Thankfully, everybody's been pretty cool. Laura Park Lincoln was kind of standoffish, but she's kind of crazy too.
She wasn't that way with me. She wasn't She was actually kind of cool.
She was trying
to sell you anything?
No,
trying to push some crystals on me and talking about my energy and stuff, and
Oh, I like her. I want to meet her.
Oh no, you don't.
Maybe she was past.
She literally tried to sell an entire room of us at timeshare. So
she does like these, I guess, seminars about, I guess, New Age type stuff. I'm not real familiar with.
Reiki.
But, yeah.
See, she didn't try to throw any of that on me. I don't know. Maybe she was past that or something. I don't know. But she was just kind of cool with me. So
reminds me of David Lynch and his transcendental meditation thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any topics they want to bring up tonight?
I just want to tell everybody they need to watch Dark on Netflix. Watch it.
What is that? What is that? Enlighten us, Jamie.
It is a 3-season German series that is a lot like Twin Peaks and Stranger Things, and it has a lot of Stephen King in it. I guess Castle Rock would be, something else that kind of has a similar feeling. The mood is incredible. It's dark, like the show says. It's convoluted a bit, but if you really pay attention, you'll start to care about the characters a lot, and you'll learn their names really quick. And there's 3 timelines that are like converging, and I don't want to tell you much more about it because you're going to want to go in on this one kind of blind. But do not watch with subtitles. Watch it dubbed, because number one, you won't even care after a while that they're speaking a different language and you're hearing English. It won't bother you because the characters are so good and the acting is so good. It won't matter. 2, the visual aspects are incredible. the cinematography is incredible. It has this flavor and this mood, and each season the mood changes a little bit, and the color schemes change a little bit, and then even in the third season, there's all these reverse shots, meaning like one time the house has vine on this side, but now it's on this side, and the staircase was on this side, but now it's on this side. And I'm not going to tell you why, but definitely you got to watch it. It's a good show, and I love it as much. I love it almost as much as Twin Peaks. So it's in my top 5 TV shows of all time. So.
Sounds interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned Castle Rock. I've not seen season 2. Is season 2 any good?
I think that's the one I am watching, because I don't think I've seen season 1. Season 2 is the one with Annie Wilkes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Lizzie Kaplan is excellent. She definitely studied Kathy Bates, because she's got her mannerisms, her walk, her little cocky duty thing that she does with the weird swearing language. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, she's a good actress too.
What about that Nosferatu show that Joe Hill did? Was that any good?
I have not seen that one.
Not either. Not really heard much about it either.
Didn't even know that existed.
It's based on his novel.
Yeah.
The OA is good. Now they took it off, which really irritates me, because I was looking forward to another season of it, because the first 2 seasons were excellent, and I wanted to see this 3rd season, and they left it on this awesome cliffhanger that I don't want to tell you about. But if you haven't seen the OA, check it out. It's good. It's good stuff.
Cool. Rahul, you got any topics you want to discuss, or?
Not really. I mean, did we talk about Chucky?
No, we've not talked about Chucky, and we had a couple of people in the chat ask us if we've mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much of a teaser. I don't really know what the. I mean, there's a little bit of a blurb. I think Dom Mancini posted as well about what the show's going to be about and all this stuff. But the one thing that I took away from it was that definitely sounded like Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
And not Mark Hamill at the end. So I think from the vibe I'm getting is that it may be a continuation of the original films in some fashion. I don't know if it's going to be one of those we're pretending these ones didn't exist, but I think I've heard Jennifer Tilly's like casted on the show. So I'm interested to see where they're taking that.
This is exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah, it definitely did sound like Brad Dourif. So I can see that, the series sticking much closer to, the original series of movies than.
I haven't seen the remake, and I do want to watch it. I haven't heard bad things about it, so I was kind of surprised that went that way. I thought, but I guess it's because they're doing a TV series and you go with the classics and stuff like that, and you get more backbone there. But
you need to check out the remake, dude. It's either liked or hated,
Yeah, I haven't heard that much bad, to be honest. But,
yeah, I thought it was okay.
Stingray
I liked it.
Now, was that on the Sci-Fi Channel or USA? It was Sci-Fi, right?
Both.
It's both.
Okay.
It's actually a joint thing for some reason. And then I don't know where it's going to stream. Like I'm not going to be able to watch either of those. So I'm assuming in Canada it'll have rights through some other service, and I'll get it through that. But...
Rahul, you can watch it.
I can with that great deal on Surfshark.
If you go to surfshark.deals/Pizzal and use code Pizzal for an 85% discount and 3 months for free.
I can't believe I haven't done it yet. I thought about doing it today just to be able to stream those Hammer flicks on Peacock. I don't know if you guys heard that, but Peacock is streaming some Hammer and some other classic stuff through the service, and I'd be able to do that if I had that sweet Surfshark deal.
There you
What's
go.
What's that URL again?
It is surfshark.deals.
This is so clearly the shape of things to come.
Look, this is an 85% discount on VPN services and 3 months for free. You want to talk about being region free? There you go.
Region free internet.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Hair.com has the best deals on razors.
Okay, Jamie, do the Manscaped one now.
Oh my gosh.
Not yet, though.
I will say, though, very seriously, I use my VPN for a lot of international films that get blocked, region blocked, even on YouTube. So yeah, it's actually a really, really smart thing to get a VPN and put it to use. Not for the anonymity, which is actually not really true, but it does open up content from places where, because of region restrictions, you wouldn't get the content.
Yeah,
Or you can go to Netflix for whatever region that you set to. So that's really cool.
And Steak Sauce signed up. He mentions in the chat 27 months for $35.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good deal.
Dang, that ain't bad.
It's a good deal.
Yep.
So yeah.
So I have one last topic I'm gonna, and then I promise I won't bring any more up.
Okay.
So it was kind of confirmed this just actually yesterday, I guess, was the actual confirmation that the new Candyman film is not using the Philip Glass score for the film at all. They got Robert Lowe, who's actually an experimental artist known as Lichens, to do a new score for the film. And we haven't heard the score except for the little bit that's in the teaser. So it's impossible to judge, and I'm not suggesting we should judge the quality. But it does bring up that old issue of like when a long-running franchise changes its score, there's a resistance from the fan base. Friday 13th is the obvious example when Jablonski's score was introduced in the remake. I actually like that score. I think it's moody and dark. It fits the movie it's in better than Manfredini's score would have on that film. But even like Halloween, when Alan Howarth left the stage and John Ottman showed up, not that we got to hear his score because they cut most of it out of the film, but it did fundamentally change the series after that. So I'm wondering how you guys feel on the panel about the prospect of that incredible Glass Candyman score not being used, and how you feel about other long-running franchises getting new themes.
I think it's a horrible idea because that music is Candyman for me.
Yeah, it's iconic. I don't know how to do that.
Devil's advocate, though, Piz, and this is purely my opinion, Bear McCready absolutely crushed Child's Play remake. He crushed it.
Yeah, but there's not everyone's Bear McCready.
But my point is, I'm not gonna just dismiss it from the start. That's what I'm getting at. When I hear it, I'll check it out. Maybe he'll homage that dun 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 dun. We don't know yet. Maybe he'll kind of do something with that at all. But you know, honestly, the music is the absolute least of my worry. I see Jay. Go ahead, Jay, because I see Jay shaking his head.
That original score is beautiful and haunting. And but if this is not the film, this is a complete remake. Tony Todd's not in it. I'm saying go ahead. You don't even deserve to use that music. You shouldn't be allowed to use that music. You know?
That's fair. That's fair.
You know what? I actually agree with that. You know, they're gonna drag Candyman through the mud with this one, so don't drag the score through the mud too.
Well, when you say that they're not using the original score, like, was the film actually scored by Glass, and now they're just ditching it?
No.
Or are you saying they're just not using any of his elements? Okay.
No. Robert Lowe's score is apparently completely original. Because the comparison I'd make, and it's not because of the Clive Barker connection, is to me, Hellraiser lost being Hellraiser when we lost Christopher Young's score completely. I think if those first two films were scored by someone else, they would lose a lot of their magic. I really believe that. I think music is incredibly important. And with iconic franchises, I just see it as dangerous. Although, like I said, I'm one of the few people who likes Jablonski's Friday the 13th score. So I'm open-minded about it, but I know it's a thing that can affect people's enjoyment of these things pretty deeply. What do you think, Jamie?
I think you're right. I don't want to see it changed. But Jay had a good point too. I mean, it's not going to have Tony Todd in it. It's not the Candyman we all love. So
Jamie,
I'd rather they didn't.
Is that 100% confirmed? Is Tony Todd remotely in it? Not that it makes the difference in terms of the film, but is he even remotely?
I think he's going to be maybe punting a football.
Somebody just tell me. Oh my God. You know, with Halloween, everything comes out before we know it. The entire world knew that the film was delayed before Blumhouse said anything.
One thing
I don't know for sure yet if Tony's in it or not.
One thing about Halloween Kills, just stay off the internet until next year if you don't want it spoiled, because there's
Oh,
spoilers.
God.
There's spoilers of it already all over.
Do you think
all
that
over
it's
Twitter.
going to get leaked?
Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me. There's spoilers of it all over Twitter.
It's gonna be like Jason X all over again, man. They're gonna get the film out.
So, Christian,
Yeah.
answer to your question about Tony Todd is don't blink, literally.
I know what you mean by that. That's what I thought. But dude, oh my god, all this hearsay, it's making my head spin on the internet.
All I heard was that you hear his voice. That's it. You hear Candyman's voice, and that's it.
My understanding is if you watch the mirrors closely, they manipulated still images, and that's where he appears. But literally, it is. You have to understand, Candyman is no longer a specific spirit or ghost. It's a thing that can be anyone.
It's a bee sting.
Yeah.
It's a bee sting.
Well, that's how it's transmitted. That's how the curse of slavery and America's apartheid past is transmitted. Yes.
That's got to be the dumbest. I'm sorry.
And through chain coffee shops. I'm not kidding.
Who
We all saw the cup. We all saw the cup.
who wrote that? Who approved that? Who thought, yeah, I'm going to put millions of dollars behind that? I mean, what a bee sting? What the hell? A bee sting?
Is it Blumhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay. I couldn't remember.
That says it all.
And in Peele, people keep calling it his movie, but he's just a producer.
He's got his name on it.
I know producer can sometimes mean, John Carpenter produced. He gets paid and maybe shows up on set. But what is his involvement? Is he pretty tight with the script? Is he looking over things, making changes? Is it just because his name is so big?
He's an executive producer on it, which basically means that he has vague supervisory creative input on the product, but it's really just to make sure the investors come on board.
Right. That's business, man.
Is that Akilah Cooper? Is that the director's name? I don't have it in front of me.
Something like that.
Yeah. So she has previously made a film that was pretty much a social drama. I'm expecting a lot of like mixed opinions in the genre about it, which maybe is an okay thing. I just don't know if it's an okay thing for a long-running horror franchise that could really have used the proper fourth film.
It's gonna be the My Bloody Valentine remake all over again. If you don't like it, you're a racist. What did I say? What did I say?
My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, no.
Todd Farmer on the brain.
Yeah. The Black Christmas remake, where if you don't like it, you're a racist. You're not a real horror. There'll be certain people in the horror community on Twitter saying that you're not a real horror fan if you don't like it. I mean, it's going to be a complete
But
I mean, I'll keep an open mind. But that's all I can
Me
do.
too. I give everything a fair shot. I mean,
Sure.
I'll watch anything and I'll give it a fair shot. But if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you. And if I do like it, I'm going to tell you.
No, Jamie, if you don't like it, you keep your mouth shut because they coming for you if you say
Yeah,
I'm really
let them
disturbed,
come
though.
for me. Let them come.
I'm really disturbed that Universal moved Halloween Kills off
But not
of
this.
off of the date because they said, oh, well, theaters won't be fully open. And if they are open, there'll be social distancing. So we can't sell as many seats. But then they moved Candyman into that slot. So what are they saying by saying that? They're intentionally saying it's okay to limit the audience on this movie? There's not a lot of confidence there.
No, clearly there's no confidence there.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you,
that was quietly done after. And I noticed you picked up on it. I wouldn't have myself, but that just tells you everything. And I'm hoping for this movie to be good. I mentioned that we were talking the other day. I was like, I still am. It doesn't look good.
but the moment that movie doesn't start making money, it's not going to be because you're dumping it in a time when nobody's going to the theater. It's going to be everybody's racist. So that'll be the narrative, guaranteed. That'll be fun. Yeah.
At least Run Sweetheart Run has not been redated yet.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the oh God. That is the 4-alarm 16 car pile up on the highway for this year. No question about it.
Is
So
that
thank you,
like Run
Blumhouse.
Lola Run? I'm trying to figure this out. What is that?
Oh, so you don't know? So it's a story about an American woman who goes on a date with a white guy who proceeds to drug and rape her. But she escapes from him and runs through the town, but no one in town will help her or believe her that anything's happening. He follows her because he's some kind of supernatural devil racist thing. And he follows her because he can smell the fact that she's menstruating.
Oh my!
Oh,
That just blew my mind.
It fits all of the themes together, doesn't it?
Wow!
What?
I'm gonna have to. I'll watch that though. I'll watch it.
What's the name of this again?
Run, Sweetheart, Run.
I can see Piz now. If you haven't seen Run,
The trailer's
Sweetheart,
out there.
Sweetheart, Run.
this Blu-ray is a
Check
great
out-
way to introduce yourself to the film.
Jesus Christ.
The trailer's out there. You can find it on YouTube. Check it out. It's awful.
Steak sauce. Are you hearing this right now?
Yeah, it's awesome. Already
On
watching
review.
it right
Run, Sweetheart, Run. Get it, steak sauce.
Uh,
Piz is going to close down that Patreon tier.
Yeah. It's going to be much far more expensive. Far more expensive.
Yeah.
I'm going to laugh so hard when Piz goes, today we are revisiting Children of the Living Dead or
Oh,
whatever.
God.
Don't give steak sauce any ideas.
Get them saucy.
But yeah, are we good? Are we? Anybody else want to discuss anything before we wrap up episode 0 of Region Free? Sure.
I have a couple of digital copies I'd like to give away.
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to give out the codes yet, but I have a couple of trivia questions that I want to hit everybody in the chat with. See if they would.
The answer is
What?
My Little Pony, the movie.
Oh,
I have
Awesome
I
with
have
codes
two.
for.
I have two movies, and the first one is a digital copy for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Quentin Tarantino movie.
Ooh.
And here's trivia question number 1. What 1998 comedy featured Robert Stack doing a spoof of Unsolved Mysteries?
I know it.
I know it too.
Wait. Let's see.
Staring at the chat.
How many points is this for, Lauren?
I'm sticking
I
with My
wonder if
Little
Lauren
Pony, the
actually
movie.
knows what it is. And steak sauce is the winner.
Ah, steak sauce.
Basketball.
So that's both a comedy
Yes.
and a sports movie. There's zero chance I'd ever see that.
It's not really a sports movie though.
Our buddy Gibbs is in the chat, Retro Cac, and he was close.
Gibbs.
He was this close.
He was very close.
But
yeah.
just steak sauce, congratulations. Congratulations.
I liked it when they spoofed the age progression and said, "Here's what he might look like today," and they put up a picture of Mr. T. I love that.
It's been a while since I've
All
seen
right,
Basketball,
now-
but I remember really liking that movie.
It's a really funny, actually, if you like the South Park guys, even though they didn't write it. But
Love basketball.
all right. And my second question, which is a bit harder, it's for a digital copy of Parasite, the Best Picture winner.
Ooh.
Let's see if you can get this one. 1 year after Basketball, Robert Stack did another Unsolved Mysteries episode for another movie, or rather a segment for a movie, but it wasn't a comedy, it was a drama. What's the name of it?
American Pie.
I don't know
My
that.
Little Pony, the movie.
Well, that came out in '99, actually, and had our band Blink-182.
Na 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 na.
Oh God.
In this particular movie, he was actually doing a missing person segment, and the lead character was essentially found out because he was featured on Unsolved Mysteries.
Close borderline
Anybody take a
Ocean's
guess?
11. Close borderline. Borderline Ocean's 11 said the Phantom Menace. You're close. Close.
Borderline Ocean's 11. He changed his name again.
Yeah.
When did he be Ocean 13?
Basketball.
This one's
All right.
This one's a little
Does
tougher.
anybody in the chat in the stream know?
I
Or
don't.
in the
I just have a
podcast?
guess. I just
People-
have a guess.
Get your Googles on. He doesn't know that you're cheating.
Somebody
Yeah.
cheat.
Okay,
Mumford?
Devin Duncan got it.
Hmm.
Oh,
Devin Duncan got it. The name is Munford. Yes.
Never heard of it.
What the hell is a Mumford?
But
Hey,
congrats to Devin
nobody
Duncan.
remembers. Nobody remembers Mumford. Nobody
Congrats.
remembers that.
To Devin.
But yes, he was Roland 666. He was in Beavis and Butthead Do America because he
Yeah.
wanted to give cavity searches to everybody he ever came
Now I've
across.
seen that.
We're
Yeah.
back. To
Yeah, I'm
Here's-
talking Roto-Rooter. Do not stop until you reach the back of his teeth.
That's what I was going to throw that out there. Good stuff.
I just watched that. And with a double feature of Team America World Police because I was in the mood for comedy and I decided I was going to watch those two together and it was really awesome to be honest. And then I watched a whole bunch of Trailer Park Boys because I'm totally addicted to that show right now.
Oh my God, Trailer Park
Sebastian
Boys. That's my local guys.
I love that show.
I see them all
So
the
much.
time.
I love it.
Well, I know Steak Sauce is on Twitter, so you can easily get those codes to him that way, Stone. Don't know about Devin.
Yes.
But we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll find out. You can Devin Stone's on Twitter if you want to track him down, or if you want to send a message to the Sausage Factory on Facebook or Twitter, we'll hook you up.
What show was that?
I'm sorry, Region Free, the former Sausage.
Has the direct name to this show.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I've not changed the names yet, so it's
Yeah.
after as soon as the
Region
show's
Free,
over.
trademark.
Or Stone, you can just send it to me, and I'll make sure Devin gets it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Sure.
Devin says he's on
Sure,
Twitter
sure,
as
sure.
well. So look up at Stone Gassman, Devin. You'll find him.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Devin won Parasite, and Steak Sauce won Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to give a huge thanks to everybody who tuned in. We had a really good turnout tonight. We've had a very lively chat. So let me give some shout outs here. Roland666, our buddy Steak Sauce, Jess Graham, Aiden Vavra, Al Suspiria. Al, what's up, man? How are you? Devin Dungan, David Vines, Matt, Robert Long, Movie Man 95, E Boogie, Borderline Oceans 11, Brian Trash. A lot of familiar names in the chat and some new names in the chat, which is always good to see. Our buddy Gibbs, Retro Cac. Let's Sebian Seagal is in the chat with us tonight.
Steven Seagal?
Not Steven, Seben. Seben.
Okay.
Subtle difference.
Dave
And his
Van
picture, did you see his picture? His picture is Cooper from Twin Peaks.
Oh, really?
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Damn fine coffee.
Let's see. Darren
Yeah.
Burrows was here with us tonight. Of course, Dave Vanderhoff was here earlier as well.
He's still trolling.
Okay.
The window man is still in the show.
The Window Man.
The Window Man.
Marbsy. Zombie 7979, our old friend Crystal Lake Counselor 1977. So yeah, we had a very good, very nice turnout tonight. Very lively chat. Thank you guys for all tuning in. We appreciate it. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Lauren, Christian, Jay Stingray, Raiho, Jamie, Stone, Eric was here, but he bowed out, and of course Cameron, who was here, but he also bowed out. So yeah, that's episode 0 of Region Free in the books. And that's how we're going to be moving forward, is as Region Free. And yeah, we hope you guys will stick with us. So we'll make sure make sure you follow us on Twitter and on Facebook, and we will be in touch in the very near future about getting the show rolling into the new season, or whatever we're going to call it. When
Are
we're
we
on
doing Instagram too?
when we're on, we could, sure. We could.
Sure.
Yeah, we could. So
MySpace coming soon.
make sure you hit us up on Friendster and Google Plus. And
Zanga.
we also have a OnlyFans that Jay the Stingray is behind.
Yeah,
I'm with it too. Me and Stingray.
it's a lot of fun stuff, man. If you guys are into it, I'll do
We're
it.
we're doing a calendar. I think I am November.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Very cool.
okay.
Nice.
Lawrence
Wow.
January, because he's a great way to start the year. And Piz ends us off in December.
Oh yeah, just me and that bearskin rug and the Santa cap. That's it. That's it.
I'm just wearing my Freddy Claus. That's all I'm wearing.
This is something the world does not need, Christian.
They need it. Hey, Sauce, would you sign up for that tier? Let me know, man.
Well, you know he's going to say yes.
yeah.
There
our
are war
target
crime
audience.
tribunals that have been held over less.
Oh, man.
Well, you guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in again, and we'll be in touch in the very near future. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care, and until next time, peace. And then we're gonna play you out with some more of that awesome Christian Hanna theme. If I can find it, there it is. The region-free intro.
There it is.
All right, take care, people.
Bye.
Bye.
Do I have to be quiet, Biz?
Well, this is awkward.
You can say whatever. You can say whatever you like tomorrow.